It is 1 o'clock, time to call the meeting to order. We'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all. I Lord, we come again to you, Father, and ask you, Lord, to guide us today in this meeting. Lord, let our thoughts be like your thoughts, and let our choices do things that honor you and honor the people who are going to live here in Brown County. Father, help us to behave in ways that is our worthy of everything you've done for us. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
All right, welcome to the meeting. It's hot. We will go on. The first item is county personnel or public comment. I don't see any, but I'll just restate that if we're here and you have something to say, we will make time for you. We have an appointment at 1:30. You can see our list here. So we will just roll on down to the minutes from the 20th of July. Are there any additions, corrections, or comments to the minutes as presented? Mr. Pollock? No?
I didn't have any.
Someone make the motion to approve said minutes?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
7:20.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Not all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Next is the payroll. Lindsay. Any comments or questions on this? No?
I didn't have any corrections on the payroll.
All right, is there a motion to approve that? I'll make a motion to approve payroll for July 22nd, 2026. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
They moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
You want to talk to us?
Yes.
All right, bring it up.
We need to order some tubes. Okay.
What do you need? What do you after?
We all several little ones, I think, just got depleted throughout flood and all that, but then there's like 3 5-footers and a 70 long 7-foot. So
Okay.
it'll be a measurable mound, dude.
So Jerry, we don't have these in any of the locations, right? We're not,
One 5-footer that might work on one of them, but
in other words, like, we're past that where we have tubes maybe in one location, but somebody thinks that they're not
yeah.
for the county's use.
Used to be in the old days, 4-foot kind of biggest one carried, but there is some out Fairview, some a couple 5-footers out there.
Okay.
There's some kind of big ones, you don't have them sitting around, you know, with one hand.
Right.
And it's sort of high.
I guess, again, my only comment is you understand that if we have tubes anywhere in the county,
Oh.
they're to be used.
But
Yeah, okay.
when we do order them, I think I'm gonna keep them in hot water, so they're more central located. Somebody's there to load them more often because people come out to Fairview all the time.
Okay.
Plus, on that subject, I mean, I don't have anything against this guy, but the guy from, I'll tell you right, he's in Nemaha County Township. Do we have to supply stuff for Nemaha County?
No.
I don't think so either.
We don't have to supply tubes to anybody. We've been doing it in the past because we had them. The townships
Yeah,
were coming to us and we understand that. But we're not in the market of. Make sure I'm not overstepping my bounds here, but we're not in the market of being a tube supplier
Yeah.
for everybody because the problem with that is, number one, we're not set up for it. Number two, we buy those tubes and then when we go to sell them, we don't mark them up. So it's a drain to the county's funds. If we were going to do something like that and people did want to buy tubes from us, we have to pay for the unloading and the loading. Plus, we're financing all that. So it's coming out of our budget. We're paying for it ahead of time. And so, That's just not a-
You draw the line.
yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. And I mean, do it gracefully. Just say, look, we would like to be able to do this, but we're just not set up for it. And it costs us money. So if it's going to cost us money, I'm against it. What do you think,
Yes.
Bill?
Hungry.
I agree too.
Yeah. You wanted a list of places maybe contractors could help us? Actually, we got more than I thought, but there is one out on Jackrabbit. Still wanting to do any of that. Cause we never know if FEMA really comes through after the fact.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's one out there. I think I got that by memory. We're most out of 310 on Jackrabbit.
Okay,
Just to fill the thing, it's 4 shots side of the box.
So we would have to. You'd be the contact. Whoever we contact, because we're gonna have to get pricing, obviously, or an estimate. And so. They could contact you and you can meet them out there, because obviously they're gonna need to look at it to price it.
You know, like Phil, Fairview, pretty good stuff.
The what?
All the fill.
Oh, yeah,
down the
right.
Road there, so. We can use that. And our, the lowboy truck, the thing's. Crazy fits with us, dies on the road and it's becoming a danger, I mean, somebody's gonna get hurt. It's a Sterling.
Yeah, it's been that way for a long time, right?
That everywhere, nobody can seem to figure it out.
And so that one we just fixed, that Walker just fixed, and can you put a pump system or something on that?
Good, yeah, that's what you wanna do, yeah.
I mean, I thought there was supposed to be one around someplace that,
No, the hydraulic stuff, you know, I'm not sure all what that entails, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know either, but that's,
And it's kind of long, you know, it's, I see something shorter of a day cab, not a cab, it's fairly long. Yeah, feet. They don't have to be nothing very fancy, it's got a heater and power steering, I mean, you know, we won't use it that much, but turn on one at a time on the road, it just seems like it's, you never know what's gonna do it.
So Jerry, what happens when it gets taken to a mechanic and they look at it? What do have they?
Well, John has probably took it more places than he might know, but they took it to Kansas City, they took it everywhere.
Does that truck have DEF on it?
I don't think so.
I'm sure.
So.
Okay, so we need to talk to John probably and see. What his experience has been with it. Are you familiar with it?
yeah, I brought John home from Kansas City last year sometime when he dumped it off at the mechanic to fix it, that very same issue. So it's, what, do you know what year that thing is?
Shit.
Just close.
Say it on 9,
Oh, it's newer than the fall. Okay.
could be wrong.
time to go find it for us.
Just trying to see what kind of value that truck had.
They say we don't need nothing very good or fancy, we just something dependable.
Right.
Nice, maybe get over about death and all that stuff on it.
What is the Green Peak doing now? What's its life? Is it
It's
doing
just
it?
like,
Yeah.
sitting in the shed, right?
Sitting in the shed? Do we have a wet kit that would go on it? Have to buy all that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so long, I mean, I guess the Mac will not often you do it. But the real kid on it, it's. Shorter, but
Now, I'm not familiar with the Mac from Hiawatha. What's in?
you know, I'm not sure.
So why don't you let us do
What they
this
got.
one? We'll look into what we have out there and get back to you on,
Yeah.
but if the county has vehicles that'll do it. Then
Yeah.
we need to use the vehicles that do it.
Rather see the Mac, it's shorter. Shorter cut.
And it's got a wet kit already?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in your daily, weekly workings with the county, how often does the lowboy get used? And I realize sometimes it gets used a lot more than others, but just on average, is it a couple times a month? Or,
Ooh, probably, I mean, now, you know, with this flood and doing all this, you know, we use it a lot.
okay,
You just never know.
Sure.
Well, yes, there's, you know, it was hauling rock all the time, it was a pain to have to get one off of that. You're not doing that, you know, so,
What does the Hiawatha Mac do?
well, because we're not hauling rock.
Yeah,
No.
that's what it would do.
Right.
It would haul rock.
so its main purpose is you guys use it to haul rock. Okay, and
Haul
hauling,
belly dumps and you can do some hot patch on it sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
and hauling rock typically happens in the winter months anyways. Okay, so.
All right. So if you only had one project, you were looking for some outside help? This
Well,
310
there's all kinds of
Jackrabbit?
littler ones that I don't think it'd be worth really. Having somebody else I have to do.
And this is at quarter mile south of 310 on Jackson. And it's a washout. Just,
So the idea was to bring, because FEMA's already come in, they have deemed that there was substantial damage in Brown County, and we have turned in basically damage reports. We're seeking compensation. The idea was to use some of the local contractors to help you guys get ahead, because the calls that you can't do, the normal maintenance calls that you can't do right now, because you're spending all your time on repairing, right? That we would utilize some contractors to do that. So we will get them going on this and try to figure out how we get pricing in and make sure we're doing it to, you know, to the standards. If there's other projects that you deem that are necessary, we need to know about them, because we want to get back to the maintenance stuff that needs to be performed this summer.
Yeah, there's so many, it's just one or two loads, that, you know, you can tie them in, we get them in time, but probably not dangerous or anything right now. The big tube there is right west of Butler on Mills.
okay.
And I thought it just went over the road there and washed off like they all did. But when we crawled down in there, and we'd fought this tube before, the seams are coming apart, there's two seams in it, and it's rusted, so. You know, we don't need to fix the bank when the tube's bad.
Is this the 7-footer?
Yeah, 7.9 feet long.
Big.
That's on the hill. So. When you guys want to hire a contractor to do that and all, that's a big job, but
Can
we can
you
get
guys,
it in time,
can you guys do it with everybody helping?
you know.
Okay.
But I just want to do some mop patching. Doing, so,
Okay, so as far as the tubes, I have written here, you need 1 7-footer, 3 5-footers.
yeah.
And then Richard asked the question, and I wasn't clear. Do we have some 5-footers in stock that we could use, or we did?
The one place, we have a 5x40 out there, third unit, I think will maybe work for the one here,
Okay. So does that mean we just need 2 5-footers then?
probably.
Okay.
One of them's 5x50, and one's 5x70. So. But
Tammy, how long does it take to get a tube that size? Maybe you know, but she's here also and since. Okay. So that was my biggest concern, is the lead time on these.
Yeah.
We need them, we need to get moving on them.
yeah, we need, like, say, make a list and get, inventory, get some small ones also, because they really got its own name also.
How depleted are we?
Well, I mean, you go out there, there's still a lot there, you know, you get us and few townships grabbing at them and for long. So we're not clear out.
Well, Jerry, is there a certain, I'll just call it a comfort level with tubes in stock where you want to be? Like, I need 10 2-footers.
The 18 inches and 24 is the popular.
Okay.
You need to have, between all three of us and everybody, I mean, you need to have 20 probably. Because townships start getting them and before long,
So
you're out.
just so I'm clear on this, when the townships get a tube from us, we do not mark it on it. We charge them the same price we pay, right?
For sure.
But the township can go to the same supplier that we go to, correct?
Yes, but we generally, because we usually order them in bulk. So I think we probably get a better price than they would, what they meant. Just to get a single tube.
Okay.
So, because we usually do it at the beginning of the year. We usually send out bids and everybody gives me a list of what they need to order. So we order it at the bunch.
We didn't do that last year. didn't we?
So-
We haven't done it for 2 years.
So Tammy, would it be possible, so could we find out from the manufacturer, from the supplier, what the difference would be between bulk orders and single orders? Could you give us those, so we can kind of have that in the back of my head, because is it a 2% or 3% cut? You know, I'm trying to figure it out, because one of the problems we have in the past, from what I've seen, is we order a bunch of tubes in, we pay for all that, right? And then those tubes get spread out over several years. Is that correct? They have in the past, but you're paying for that in one fiscal year. So it's putting an impact on that fiscal year. And what I'd like to try to do is figure out a way where we're impacting the fiscal year that we're using. And I know that we're always going to have some for emergencies, but instead of having 20 tubes sitting in stock of a certain size, You understand where I'm going with this?
Mhm.
Because it impacts a year and it throws that budget year off. So if we can figure out a way where, I understand if they're 5 to 6 weeks out, we don't want to have an emergency and say, well, it'll be 6 weeks before we get a tube. We need to have various sizes as backup. But also, if we can get away from putting these big orders in that don't get used for several years to complete it, that will help the budget a lot.
You know, when you sell them at the New Year's price, you know, it might be a tube that's been sitting there for 4 years.
Yeah.
That, you're absolutely right. If somebody goes to a supplier and they're gonna pay $1,000 for a tube right now, okay? And we bought it for 900 and we're selling it for 900. We need to take a look at that.
Yeah.
Because
They're,
they're-
remember the New Year's price every time they want
Yes,
17.
Keeping current on that. Okay.
but tubes went down too, so we had tubes that we actually paid more for.
Damn, what's that?
There's.
That's one of the pitfalls of ordering in bulk,
Right.
right? So if we can get back to where we're using the tubes yearly, or pretty close to yearly, it's a lot better for the county.
You just don't ever know. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we got some that have been there for years.
Yep, you don't know, but all you can do is do your best guess. And if it doesn't work out, but at least we're trying, at least we're trying to keep those big swings in the budget from happening.
So then if the old way of thinking was I need 20 of a particular size tube, are you saying when he goes out there and counts, if we have a few, and maybe we just lower that, say, I want 15 of that tube?
I'm
Is that
saying
what you
that,
mean?
I'm saying that we should talk about it and
Try to just
try to
find-
make it better, just, yeah.
A lower minimum.
Yeah.
So we should be able to figure out how many we use on average each year, right? Over a 5-year period or something.
Go back and
So
count them up.
the tubes you were describing that take 5 to 6 weeks, I mean, obviously that's a big tube, but like on a 24-inch tube, Tammy, if you needed 10, are they available? You know? On your smaller sizes?
I can contact both of them.
Okay, so what I think would help the commission is if you could get some lead times on various sizes, average lead times. Then that would go a long ways and you know, what we need to do.
But then to address your immediate needs, we need to find price or bids on a 7x90, a 5x50, and a 5x70.
Well, it sounds great with the 5x70. I mean, I don't know whether we'll take that box clear out, we put a few in, or maybe if we can repair it, so. Yeah, what do you do there?
Is this a different road? Where's the 5x7?
It's 160 from Dogwood, it's a dirt road. Wing fell clear off, I mean, it's still, so we may be able to drive sheeting and fix that and not need to do, but. I think really kind of get into that, I don't know, so yeah, I hate to sit there and order two, and maybe we can repair it without.
Okay, well, why don't you go investigate it and decide if you can repair it or not?
Well, I mean, we've been there, but I mean, before you get there with the excavator, start digging, you can see. There's no way to say. So maybe for now, just forget that one.
Okay.
If we have to order special, I mean, I guess we do.
So then just the 7x90 and a 5x50?
I think, I'm pretty sure there's a 5x40 over there. Not 100, but pretty sure. So if it is, I would, yeah, I would just do two, I guess.
Okay.
So a lot of things.
So I would ask you not to make it more confusing, but just take that standard, that number that you want to have on hand, just lower it a bit and try and tell us what we need and we'll put together an order so we get you a few of those tubes in common sizes that you've
Yeah,
seen around there.
we can just say when we get to a low point, we're almost out.
Yeah,
We get to our last tube and then need one ourselves.
I would absolutely say that. You've got relationships with all these townships. It would do good for you to call them and say, hey, we're in a situation right now where our tubes are kind of low until we restock, we can't supply.
Yeah, well, that reminds me also, the Robinson guy, they may be wanting to buy a 5-foot or so. It says, figured out for the time of order, you know, so I just ordered now.
So who at Robinson approached?
Dennis Teagle.
Okay. So
So-
Tammy, you'll find out just some various lead times and then also the difference between buying in bulk versus one to 5 orders or 1 to 10 orders, that kind of thing. But you're absolutely correct, you know, they're galvanized metal. It's a commodity. They go up and down. So if we're in a situation, to me, if we were gonna buy in bulk, it's because prices had dropped substantially and we could take advantage of some lower prices. But we should never be buying in bulk when prices are high.
What's the need is there, I mean,
Well, keeping a few in stock is one thing, keeping 20 or 25 is another, so.
Just in time sort of thought. Jerry, will the Mac, and you tell us you use that Mac truck on that low boy and come back and see us and tell us how that's working too, okay? I want to make sure it works. In the Sterling, I mean, if the thing's dying on the road,
ready.
can we just make a decision here that we just don't use it anymore? And would that be the right thing to do?
You don't use it until we can figure out
Yeah.
if we're selling it or actually, I would like to talk to John and see. We're paying to have this thing fixed, to get it back.
And so,
And I understand that's not a unique problem. That happens all the time with dealerships where you have a problem that they can't troubleshoot and it's very frustrating. At least it doesn't have DEF, because most of the time the DEF system is what's causing it. And so,
Things lead you to right before that. Later.
which is still part of a DEF system without DEF.
And I don't want to step on your toes. You're the boss out there, but as far as I'm concerned, I'd take that Sterling off the road.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll
just,
do-
just take it off and run that
do
Mac,
it in a record.
Right.
run that Mac and if it works, that'll be wonderful. If it doesn't, then let's talk, again. Just, we're kind of in the get by mode here for that, so.
Yeah, and I understand there's somebody coming, discuss signal sign or something.
Signal sign.
That's one of John's deal, he never said one word to me about it, but. I feel we can put up some advanced warning signs. It's not the Bedonia River.
Okay, you're talking about the curve.
Yeah,
Okay, well, we're just figuring out what these systems cost. Doesn't hurt to get prices just to know what they cost.
we can put an advanced warning, one with a speed limit on it. And plus a error driving line of sight on both sides, I think that's a lot. There's already Chevron there, I mean, people can't. Something,
That's where the road turns go across the railroad track.
and. Crazy people are going through there, going too fast, not making a curve, right? Anyway. that's a few
On
guys.
Sunflower and 73, right next to me, how did we put a stop sign in front of the tracks and a yield sign?
KDOT did that.
KDOT did,
We don't
okay.
have to get over here, I guess they kind of bases it off something like that.
Okay, that's fine. I just,
Really tell us it was happening.
no, that's fair and fine. I didn't know how it worked.
Yeah,
There you go. So now we stop in front of the railroad tracks and it's a short little onto the highway. You cross the tracks about 100 feet of county blacktop and then it's a yield sign. It's different.
yeah, it is.
All right, anything else for us?
Yeah,
Probably,
one more question. So how much, I mean, you've been putting a lot of field hydrants in over the years. Is that what got everybody taken care of or?
Well, it's slowed down, I mean, there for a while, it was just, there's a couple guys wanting right now.
There's one guy up, one more on it, one.
There's always one here and there, but that's slowed down some from very fast, so everybody got semi mode and even wide cleans.
Right.
Okay.
So my last question then, the tube that goes into the entrance of the country club, you think that you can clean that out?
Well, be trying, that's long, I think about 6 foot long.
Right.
So. The upper end's smashed, bottom end's open, so it's usually
So
the time to
My-
clean themselves, but.
my comment on that is if we're gonna clean it out, let's get it cleaned out. If it's not gonna work, then let's figure out a replacement.
Same thing, when we wanna do this.
I know, but that's why I keep telling you, you've got all these projects that are preventing us from doing some of the maintenance. So give us some of that work. We'll help you out.
No contractor fix that.
We can definitely have a contractor fix that. He's already talked about it.
Yeah.
But we have to make the decision because the last time you went out there, you thought maybe you could clean out,
Yeah,
which contractor doesn't think it will. So just going on what you're saying. All I'm getting at is I don't want to keep pushing these things down the road, trying to help you out here by saying, let's use some people to get you caught up and get you back because before you know it, summer will be over.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah. You talk to him, I would do whatever he wants to do, fine with me.
but he's gonna need a tube.
You need 2 tubes,
Do we have those tubes?
I think so. Give me 60.
Can you find out?
And
We have those tubes. Okay, So
Paying 250 together.
then I'll talk to the other commissioners and see if they want to do that. But that's another viable solution where there's a problem that's causing problems at the country club. And it's causing a lot of rock to go out in the street, and if we can get that fixed, let's get it fixed. Contractor's already said he'd be willing to do it.
Great, I'll get the dudes. Guess I was trying to be cheap and.
No, we,
do it cheap.
look at it, we appreciate that you're trying to be frugal and not spend a bunch of money, but sometimes, you know, we've got a lot of problems that have
Yeah.
been caused by this storm, and we need to figure out a way to get out in front of it. Otherwise, we're not gonna get a lot of the normal maintenance done.
Yeah, and the deal on the whole out here east of town, I mean, should we hurry after that? I only get 1 week of hot patches done.
Yeah, I think you need to put it on your schedule some point and say, I'm gonna do it at some, you know, as long as we see it on the schedule, I can talk to them and let people know that. We can communicate with them.
I've got holes and roads that give them away, I was. It's eating the whole my gut, I want to get up and do some hot patches for a week or so.
The hole in the road is that the Baker Road you're talking about?
No, there's one on Sunflower, one south at 20, there's one by my house, there's some on the Landville Road, I mean, we've never had that, so.
Okay.
I want to fix it.
We usually don't get 9 inches of rain either.
No,
So
you know, that's right.
So that road I complained about on Goldfinch, they worked on that. It's better now.
Things it off, I told them that.
So we got some tubes here that we're gonna order. You're gonna look at this road, this 310 and Jackrabbit, as far as trying to get a contractor to take over. Okay, and then do we need a list of other projects that you'd like to have hired out? Like, I didn't know anything about the country club.
Yeah, that's,
Are there other ones like that?
I mean, I think the only, but every other house is probably the biggest thing here, yeah.
Okay, but you can handle that.
We can. We fix 6 or 7 of these washout places, I mean, we got way more than we thought. So,
Okay.
you guys are working on them every day. We understand that, but again, I'm looking out 2-3 months. You're having to respond daily to people calling us.
Yeah, and you're doing fine. Just let us know on this contractor, the Jackrabbit 310 thing. Let Tammy know and she'll send it to us so we can take that off your list. If it works.
I mean, you guys are gonna look, I'm not gonna have to look for contractors and all that, am I?
No, we'll handle that. We'll have them talk to you.
And there was one other too. You mentioned the wing walls. You were gonna look at that before we decide.
Yeah.
What's going on, Dogwood?
And 60 of the dogwood.
Yeah, so let's
Dirt roads.
let us know on that one too.
If we get that far, that's the thing, I mean, we gotta get the excavator there, the truck won't run, and, you know, all this stuff, so.
Well, we
Get
solved,
there in time, but
we solved the truck thing, because that one's out of
Jerry,
line.
You sound defeated. Let's get it done. We can do it.
Yeah, you guys are getting a lot accomplished. Don't be so hard on yourself.
We would have never went to the
We're
moon
trying.
if you were on the crew to get to the moon. We wouldn't be there.
we'd never make it.
No, we would not make it. Because of that, I can't get it done attitude. We gotta
Can't get it all done, I can get some stuff done, can't get it all.
All right, is there anything else you need, Jerry? I mean,
Not that I can think of, I guess.
okay. Okay, so we'll have some contact with you about the tubes, the projects here, and then if you would make me that, unless that's it, you just had the country club thing. Unless that's the only one, maybe we need a little assistance.
Yeah, I think the other's just a small one. You wanna hire somebody to take 1 or 2 loads of dirt over to there now, I mean, that's fine, but you know, that's pretty minor.
Okay.
Minor thing, or
I mean, I know I'm, but I'm making a direct suggestion.
that.
Take everything that you don't think you're gonna get done in the next month and a half that needs to be done and write it down on one sheet of paper. Give it to Richard and let him get it done.
And then all one day driving around looking at them.
Yeah, but I'm suggesting if you do that, you'll get caught up. Because if we don't do that, we're gonna hit the end of something.
And I think you're kind of conflicted because you feel like you're wasting your time when you're driving around, but that's part of being the guy. You know, we need you driving around and telling us what needs to be done.
And now I'm not spreading my axe.
No, I get it. We're pulling on you a lot, but if you could do that sounds like a good idea. Get us a 1-pager or 2-pager, whatever it is, and let us know.
Lots, leaving trees out too. Contractors will do that.
We'll figure it out.
They've got thumbs on their excavator, so.
I wouldn't worry about the trees right now.
If you could do that for us, that'd be wonderful. come up with something and then I'll take it off you'll spend a day putting it together, but that'll take it off your mind. And you can focus on your other jobs. Thanks for coming in.
All right.
All right, enjoy the heat. All right.
Thank you, Jared.
Okay, it's 1:30. That worked out perfect. Next, we have community corrections. Welcome.
Nice to see everyone again.
Coming in. Hi.
All right, we're just here to approve our year-end reports. If you want to start with questions or we ended up very well with what we had. Use what we could. All the grant funds still ended up with money, so that's a good thing. Hey, Lucy, I always want you to spend as much as you have. We didn't quite do that, but we tried.
You want to spend you all you have?
They want us to spend, because then we have to give it back if we don't spend it.
That's, what's
so bad about that?
Well, they give you a small, peripheral vision of what we can spend it on. So, we probably need another juvenile person. I don't have that money, to do that. If I could combine adult juvenile with what we talked about, then we might, we might be able to do that. But yeah, like the 44,000 fund of behavioral health, that can only be used for a very minute set of circumstances. So again, yeah, it's not bad, I guess.
You did get some of it spent by putting in new rooms and stuff, right?
That helpful. So the simple painting carpet, little chairs and stuff was very helpful.
Our shredder and copier to food them. Never had to buy a shredder and copier, they're not cheap anymore. So that was quite a deal too, so. Yeah, the offices look really nice. I'm sorry.
I'm glad that.
Yeah, thank you for that as well. We got new desks for Lehigh County, they'll be here next week. So
Very excited.
Yeah, yours too. Chris was in there, he saw somebody on last week and they stood because we don't have any footage in there, so very nice. So thank you for that as well. Any more questions about that? And we did balance with the deal, so it did get me the signature about all of those, so we're good with those. I'm sorry.
So it's good day when you balance.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing balance. And I have to keep going through it. This was amazing. Our administrative system is very good, so that helps us well. So the budget adjustment, anything over $5,000, we have to have board approval, RJ have approval as well as board approval. And so that's just what the next 2 pages are. So the juvenile services was 20,150, and it's not a matter of, oh my goodness, you had to do this. It's just a matter of moving money. So we still have to have the money. And then they know that as well. And again, that was for copier and shredder. Or any to those kinds of things. So. Any questions about those?
So if you were looking forward, like next year and the year beyond, what do you see out there that creates you guys from doing your job well, if anything? Or what bothers you, what worries you? I mean, you guys, obviously, you have a task to do every year.
Right.
And then we're already here going into the 8th month. Next year, are there changes out there that you see coming that are going to affect you or going to cost more money?
I think caseloads have a flow.
Okay.
So crazily around here. And sometimes we have, 100 cases and the next time we have 70. And so that's my only fear is if we do overextend ourselves, are we going to have that money not to buy, but to hire, another person.
I think an answer to that would be, it's not just the caseloads changing, but it's the, and Dan can respond to this, what the type of offender we get. That's what the dollars offenders. We are getting, so I've done this 32 years. They're getting a level of offender now that 10 years ago they would not have had most likely a chance of. And it's just due to the sentencing guidelines, which we hear rumor that those could change, that there may be some changes in regards to bond, in regards to the sentencing guidelines that we follow. We don't have to say anything to it. But it is the level of offender and level of person that we deal with that has changed. Criminal history levels go from A, A being the most severe, up to I, in essence, that's no fire, and stuff like that. Years past, you wouldn't get somebody that was a A, a B, a C, you wouldn't get a level. The levels of felonies are the same. Level one is the most severe, level two, it goes up, and those are the world severity as it goes. We didn't used to get offenders that, I have somebody right now that has level two that is underlying prison sentence, I believe, is 278 months. That's somebody that has probation, it's looking at near 24 years in prison. It's not somebody I dealt with 20 years ago.
So were those changes, did they come down through the state
Yeah,
level?
they come down through the state
So-
legislature.
So you said it's at the legislature or the judges or the courts or?
Yeah.
The legislature.
Okay, so. I mean, that's
We deal with what we did.
That's exactly why I was asking questions. I'm trying to understand your world better. Not that we can change it, but. I mean, we have to understand what's going on.
Sure. Why we're in front of you and what we deal with.
Right.
Like that.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that was a violent crime though, right? Could that be?
Not always, but it definitely can be. A lot of the one I'm referring to would have been a possession of meth, have been a lot. Distribution of meth, I've been thousands of school who was already on parole and idle at the time. It was,
So that doesn't build, and I know your hands are tied, but that doesn't build a lot of confidence in the judicial system.
which is, it's a great win for us if we can get them to become productive members in society.
It'd be huge, yeah. All right. Okay.
Sorry. We have a budget yet, or are you guys looking at any of the AI stuff?
It's already been approved.
Yeah, I was just thinking about next year, but do we have are you guys looking at implementing any of the AI tools for stuff? They're kind of pricey and they're not really.
No.
Okay. I don't agree with that.
Not that I'm gonna be doing.
I've seen some of that agencies, bigger agencies talking about that. It's nothing that's really done from here on.
And the printer, I mean, it was pretty expensive. Must be a good printer. Is that split in thirds because it goes just to different?
It's actually split in half.
Well, split in-
Juvenile,
Oh,
and then it's split in thirds.
okay.
Because of juveniles,
You can have to put codes in. So.
I saw, yeah, okay, all right. Okay,
make sure that.
okay. Makes sense to me.
How do you go about, when you guys buy something like that, how do you go about doing it? Do you get quotes or do you have a preferred vendor that you use?
We will not have big quotes. We've always just used who we got in St. Joe. It's called ProSolute. If we ever have a problem, they come and give them a couple hours, and that's really important for us. So we're not that. So it has been ProSolute. However, this year we did go with Navets as well, and it just so we were kind of like that. ProSolute. And then when we run our cars and stuff, we don't quotes because they're honest. I think they get 3 quotes. Yeah. That stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, are there any more questions?
You know, every time you come in, I learn a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, it's fascinating for sure.
Just don't want to learn from the inside, right? Okay, I would then, if there's no other questions or comments, does anyone want to make a motion to approve the year-end report here? Sign off.
I'll make a motion to approve the year-end report.
Okay, is there a second?
I'm checking
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
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 it. Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
Probably should have said also our Jake out of put so. There's not many to see what we've done, but if you have been in before,
Well, no.
yeah, you can put that. Then
Just always
Someone see it.
tried to stay away from community corrections or the judicial system.
Yeah,
Just,
that's probably wise. Excellent. So you're not on the radar. You guys, thank you so much. Nice to see everybody again.
All right,
We'll see
Thank you.
we'll see you.
have a good rest of your day. Yep,
Thank you so
well,
much. We appreciate your time. Good to see you again.
okay. We have Brandon coming in at 2 o'clock. Austin, are you ready?
Definitely.
Let's just jump up to you because
Gotta get on the roads.
Okay.
Meeting, so I've got a couple of things. Really, there's just a coordination exercise now. We've got to get the kids how it goes scheduled for maintenance. So you get that on for vehicle sale. They're gonna have to send an agent out. For that purpose, so we're looking at that and a couple of other ones that we need to put eyes on. To jumpstart that process, you know.
So speaking of that, so I believe that in the past, KHP was using an office downtown at the police department. And I believe that office has moved now into the basement of the sheriff's department.
So I think we should be able to.
So if you can, we can let John know. I'm sure coordinating that's gonna be pretty easy.
I think so. So I'll coordinate that with John. We have, there's a number of things that are just hanging out there that we don't really have control over. Like the dispatch agreement from the tribe. Right, we have a number back on dispatch, but we don't have, and I've got it on my phone. I'm talking about for Iowa, nothing, we don't have a final vote on that.
So, again, to speak on that, so I had forwarded an email to Nikki. The city administrator sent me over a very generic letter. Basically saying that they agreed on a price.
Yeah.
Moving forward, and that they intended to start that in January. We haven't discussed that any further, but that just showed up. Nikki just got it today.
So I've got a great one, you, that'll address that, and we'll go with that directly.
Okay, so my question would be, we haven't agreed that we'll start it in January. I still think it needs to be started, at the very least, the last quarter of this year.
Yeah, let's see what.
That was when we initiated those, discussions, we said we put a July 1st date to have it in place.
Did you get this?
That was 7 months to let them, get going. And so now they finally agreed to the price. So I would still like to push that it would go into effect the last quarter.
No, honestly,
Year, and the last time I talked to the commissioners about it, you guys basically said that that's fine with you as well, so I was going to talk with the city administrator. See if we can get that to fruition. Don't understand why we're waiting another 4 months or so. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but anyways, so we will need some sort of an agreement to, once we agree on the dates and all that, if you could look into what we could use. And then, the next question that'll come up is, since it's county, it would be a yearly agreement that could be extended on a yearly basis. What have you seen in the past?
yeah, so we did one with Sabetha over in Yamaha, have the different form. I like the agreement form and I actually think that agreement form will go for this. But basically it goes into perpetuity unless we cancel it. All right, I think that's good. There were terms in there that seemed reasonable. There's just an annual escalator on it. So we don't have to revisit the price. If you don't want to lock yourself in without some type of adjustment for inflation. I think that's pretty much the form that they used at Sabetha. That's pretty much, if it was a form that I worked on, I would suggest that we use that in there.
Okay, and you're speaking of recently, the city of Sabetha has entered into an agreement with Nemaha County Sheriff.
Yeah, for dispatcher.
And so you've obviously seen that agreement, and you think that that's short form agreement.
I think it'll work.
Okay,
And I think it's again, I think it's short form. The other good thing is it's already been approved by the Attorney General's office.
Okay.
So it'll be barring some weird thing. So I would suggest we do that. I don't know where things are at with the tribes. There's just been no movement there. Okay, that's really not in our court, that's their court.
I heard something on the news today that talked about a recall notice going on. And I'm just wondering if that has a lot to do with the delay. I know if, I would think that that would be affecting.
And they also have a lot of money that they're trying to spend in a short period of time. They've got a lot of funds that are different phases of federal grant dollars that I'm sure have recapture penalties if they don't get it spent.
Does us not having a signed MOU that, how does that? affect us?
We need one for the flow of capital and for the use of funds. So they need, if we need this MOU for dispatch to get. And I don't know whether they're doing it right now or not without the MOU, but technically we should have.
So it's my understanding, I mean, you guys understand that the equipment was already purchased.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just.
Some of it was purchased
like-
before, which we're in the driver's seat on that. I mean, if we were waiting for it to be signed before we could get the equipment, this would really be a problem.
But, now we're just gonna wait, which is, okay, it's fine. It's not like, nothing that is going on at the moment is preventing us from doing business. Like, these are loose ends. We have other loose ends concerning like another loose end would be. Where are we finally at? We have a budget number for health insurance, but we're not finally there yet. We're probably not gonna be there. Everybody's wanting us to wait till August or September for harder numbers prior to October 1st. Renewal, we're not gonna be able to address that. We're almost through budget, I'm sure, at this point. That's not something that I'm really directly a part of, but we've set revenue neutral, is that right? Or have we passed our, okay. Then, I think. Those are the main long-term projects at the moment. There's other things that are on the horizon that I could comment on a little bit, but I don't think we can comment yet. Maybe if I could have a 10-minute executive session before the 2 o'clock, that'd be great, because I'm gonna have to get on the road.
Okay,
Would it be okay if I had a 10-minute privilege?
sure. Sure. I make a motion, then we have 10-minute executive session with the 3 commissioners and county council. Attorney-client privilege. Is there a second?
Second.
Case been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carried. 10 minutes puts us about 1:58.
Balance out of the room.
I think the audio and video on the left. I think if you put
We are out of executive session back into regular with no binding action taken. To my agenda here. Does anyone, is that our 2 o'clock? There he is.
Hi, Brandon.
Hey. Okay, Austin, do you have anything more updates before we hit this 2 o'clock?
The only other thing I would say is that goal that I would have coming out as you guys get that budget. I think a goal for that year would be a food cabinet food. Like, and what does that mean? What equipment are we buying each department, over the next 5 years? And if we have that, that's probably been done as part of the forecasting for some of the departments, but there's other departments like the bridge, tubes, those type of things. But then we can get a control and that we're gonna have a lot more information for what we have.
Okay.
That'd be the next thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we also just purchased a piece of equipment. We bought a pre-owned, saved about $60,000. So we got
Okay, and Austin, while you're here, hi, Brandon.
Brandon later. No.
You're fine. Do you know Austin Parker, our
Brandon, nice to meet
county
you.
counselor?
Brandon Mayor.
He's our solid waste director. I was trying to get. There's an email here. With your policy. Did that go to Austin or just go to me? Okay, no, that's fine. I can send it. You want me to send it to him? You can do it. You're very fast. I'm very slow. So Austin, she's gonna send you over, Brandon has some ideas for policy. Regarding the transfer station. So have you take a look at that, see what you think. Okay, well, he's reading it. Did you other gentlemen see that email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's very basic. I mean, I think it covers it, but I'm not the attorney.
Fine.
Think it's fine?
Yeah.
So the issue at hand, was. I mean, that's adequately, addressed by this. It puts a lot of discretion at the solid waste director. Okay. Okay, so. Everybody think that's fine? All right, do we need to, what's the proper way of presenting this or getting it in the book? In the policy, do we need to write a,
I would suggest that we just have it adopted so there's two different ways you could adopt it as a resolution, statement of intent. Right, you could also just approve it as a solid waste policy.
okay,
I think that the resolution is a little more formal than we need for this. This is just a policy, so I would just say approve the policy as presented for solid waste.
okay. And we can make that effective immediately. I mean,
I would.
part of it is removal of items and acceptance of items, and the other is this, specifically for the grain tarps.
They're huge and they're just.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I thought that would.
Okay, all right, well
We're
then,
gonna have to rip those up with a knife. That's their job. Yeah.
so can we do this based on the language we see on the email, or do we?
Yeah, do. That'd be fun.
Then we can make it effective. All right, well then I'll make a motion then that we adopt these items, the language in the email for a new policy at the solid waste or at the transfer station and make it effective immediately. Is there a second?
I'd second
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye.
it. Aye.
Okay, motion carried. And that's regarding the removal of items and materials, the acceptance of items and materials, and the policy requiring the industrial grain tarps no longer be accepted unless they're cut into manageable 6 feet or widths. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, Brandon, so Austin, we got that taken care of. He has a schedule, so I'd like to go ahead and call an executive session with the 3 commissioners, you and our county council, to discuss non-elected personnel and performance and duties for 10 minutes. So is there a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. 10 minutes. That puts us about 2:13. And then we'll come back. Okay, we're out of executive session, back into regular with no binding action taken. County council is exiting. Thank you, Austin. Have a good trip. Okay, Brandon, we have some more things to talk about as far as solid waste. I had some questions for you. We've got you guys all looked at the report?
Yeah.
Okay, you've seen it? Okay. My question is, do we cut tires out there? Are you cutting the sidewalls out of them?
Yeah, we might have done.
Maybe
up to 1,000. That's the cutoff?
Okay, so when I was looking at this report, I thought I saw we had several hundred tires. So,
The semi-tire, we didn't pay the last,
okay,
I can't cut them.
okay,
But most of the, and then there's some that accumulate, I mean, now, a few tractor tires, but most of them are out of the rough tires.
okay.
Put down there, and that's one of those things like, I've been trying to find the time to do it, but I haven't had the time, so, I hate to all tire cutters, if I can get down, it's stay, if you go 1,000.
Okay. Okay, so that's what I was curious and when I was reading some of this in and out stuff here. I saw tire cutters on there someplace, but you're taking the passenger tires. We get them at the landfill. And what's it cost to get rid of a tire?
That's $5.
$5
$5, I think, one of the remnants.
for us to take one.
Yeah.
And then you're able, if you cut the sidewalls out, you can.
Like, the trailer, and so we're just ahead of that.
Okay, all right. Well, that answers my question.
Do you think it covers your time though? I mean, yeah, you can cut a lot of those tires, but when you have time, you go down there for a couple hours, you can get 100 of them. He's got them for you.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I figured it took me. What was it? I lost, I had that written down someplace.
Yeah, and if Lucas does it, it doesn't cost us anything.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind. I don't want to do it every day, but I didn't mind. I wouldn't want to do it today for sure.
My only question would be is that periodically we review if we're we're charging $5 to take a tire and it gets to the point where it's costing us $6 to get rid of it.
Right.
You know, we need to make sure that we aren't losing money on it.
Right, yeah, no, I think the tire cover is less than what I thought. That's what they charge, but yeah, it's not enough, if you got any of those. Tires up there, just read started up, just put nothing.
I want to say you can do a tire in a minute.
Yeah, the only one that's off and. The semi tires, something you put sidewalls and things.
They're too thick. Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was you can, if you sit there and pace yourself, you can get a passenger car tire in about a minute. It's about 30 seconds aside. Once you get it, zip.
Yeah, you've got several blades.
Yeah.
Right, all the blades for.
So maybe you do 40 or 50 an hour. So you can, it actually, it's not a bad proposition if you got the time to do it. Okay. My other question for you, I talked to Tony about the backhoe and equipment share. And we have this here. He said, I understand this. He said the thing's still in Texas, but he thought it would be in Topeka by the end of this week or next. And then they will go through it, check it over to make, because it was on rental. It was on a long-term rental somewhere else. So they pulled it off. They gave whoever had it 48 hours to surrender it. Then they're going to go through it and inspect it. And they didn't necessarily say service it, but they're going to inspect it, fix anything that's broken, fix anything that needs attention and repair. And then I asked him, looks like he's still working on warranty information. So he advised going with the case via the factory warranty. We can still, based on hours and usage, we're still eligible for it, but I don't see anything here where he had it quoted.
Still the one, you just talked about the 12-month, 500-hour, oh no, I'm sorry, that was. Yeah, placing various based on the hours when the warranty is applied.
This case product info is attached, but I don't see it.
I just don't think he attached it.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. That's what we did. I just wanted to let you know that's what he said. So, and I just spoke with him a couple of hours ago.
So then my question would be, when that unit arrives, you're gonna be taking the solid rubber tires off the other one and putting on this one?
Either that or we'll just use solid rubber tires. We're gonna have to have solid rubber tires like, back up also, because the pneumatics don't work at all out there, so.
Okay. And so that means that the older backhoe that you've had out there as a backup, we'll be getting rid of that.
No, the Steve, the K,
The old
Real
one, yeah.
old.
Yeah, you got, yeah, I think that's good.
Okay.
Okay, so just be thinking about if that thing's leaving, if there's something that needs to be done to it just to make it run, we need to know about it.
Just so you know, I misspoke too here, actually. His email says it's gonna go undergo both the 500 and 1,000 hour service. So that'll all be done.
That else you can go.
Yeah, it should be good to go. And we're gonna clean it up and be slick as a whistle when you get it.
So what we're looking at is that machine, when it comes in, it's gonna last X amount of years, whether it's 2.5 or 3.5 years. But when we start getting to that 6,000 hours again, we'll be looking at doing the same thing and
Right.
basically getting rid of the equipment before it becomes too much of a problem.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that you were trying to figure out why we bought something that's pre-owned, but we're buying it because the county's saving a lot of money.
Yeah.
The financing ended up being very reasonable. We're doing through a local bank. And so, you know, everybody wants new all the time, and I understand that. But if we can get something that's pre-owned with a warranty that lasts us 3 years, and we go right back into it and we save $50,000-$60,000.
Just for fun. Am I reading that right? They're taking hours to the 10,000 now? 900.1693.
Yeah, I don't know why that is there. I've never seen.
So here's my question. So sometimes on ag equipment now we have engine hours and we have working hours, and you gotta be careful.
They have idle hours.
Yeah.
What they, because machines with DEF idle hours, if the idle hours get to be more than 10% of the total basically miles or whatever, that's when you start looking at the engine's been idling too long. Idling is what hurts these deaths.
So here's my concern. What if that's not supposed to be a period? What if that's supposed to be a slash? I mean,
Well,
that's
not how the quote, when they were
Right.
when they were quoting it. So I mean, call them.
I better call
Sure.
and ask. Yeah. Okay. All right. That'd be. Yeah, that'd be a bad deal. Okay. All right. So now you know, I will call him after our meeting, check that out.
Yeah, I know that Charlie was out there before and he was. He applied for about 3 years or so, that's what I kind of figured, that you must have known that after it's been years, it's been working downhill. Start costing a lot more than it should have. Yeah. For repairs and things, a lot of the repairs cost with things that, you know, they just came up, there was no damage on the machinery, and things, just an hour and thing, you up and you want to be set up. And then, so that's sort of that.
You should be in good shape once this thing
Yeah.
shows up. You'll have this one plus the one you're using now for the backup.
Yeah.
We'll get started on getting the other one, I guess, somewhere else, all the way.
You noticed he also put the history, like in the last 30 days, how many hours the machine had put on it. So it wasn't something that was getting ran every day, day in and day out, according to his history.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Brandon while he's here on this tonnage report? Guys? Do you have anything for him? So there's grass growing on top of that now, weeds and grass. But where the grass is growing, that's as high as it's ever gonna be. Am I reading that right?
Yeah. We would run, they run all the way at the same time, you know, once we go cells. What kind of cells, like going all the way and then come back to all the way. So we decided to do it.
Okay.
And right now we're also,
You decided on that?
I'm doing it different. Because they don't have that big mound and then stuff, yeah, it runs off, water runs off, that would happen and forced out the burn back to that. That was keeping, that water.
So
Big
it
bang.
was a previous client that did that. Before we.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
It wasn't the state or somebody that said that.
No, that was the one. That was the one. But we, you know, when I talked to D and D, you know, they said it was okay, but they don't have fun, but not really don't need deficit. But they just don't know.
How are you on, like rock? Have you looked at the rock out there as far as,
You know, I know that the rocks in which it's smooth, it's starting to get smooth out there, it's, you know, before it was so picked up and muddy, you gotta have to find, different my other. So, now it's starting to smooth, so as I'm scraping and stuff, I'm just finding rock and finding the holes, but I don't see any need for a whole lot.
you don't?
No.
So if it rains, what happens to C and D?
If the rains, then the C is gonna get a little bit damp, but it's pretty solid. And so what I do is have them staying on the driveway,
do it this raining, and they can't get over that, they want to push it, the boats are on, before it needs to be,
Okay.
and that keeps everybody moving.
So I never like to get too far into your area here. I just wonder, you know, if a couple loads of rock would get you to be able to stage that closer, then that's just
Well, the only thing is, when you have rock going down there, you kind of.
right. Push it off.
Your rock was, rock was, so, you know, what
Okay.
we're doing right now, we're pushing it as we, with the dozer, and then I'll take the other, the back of them. And get it smooth along there, and then we'll magnet it, using magnet to it down the day.
Okay.
So we want people to go down there. And tires, you feel worried about, which. There's something nailed down, but we'll start to be all those, everything will make it. Customer friendly.
Okay. The last thing I remember from talking to you was you're having trouble or you're seeing rebar on the floor there.
And then, I did some more research, and if it's true that it's supposed to get my upper third, if you open the other, you might, should be good for. You know, and as far as the bouncing goes, I kind of remember them started doing that, how. I don't know if I was maybe thinking bouncing.
Do you still want to have somebody look at it?
I mean. I don't know how long these somebody actually looked at that for, you said, you know, like engineer said, you know, it's good for another some years.
So you think that it's wearing down from the
No,
constant
it's-
scraping?
Yeah, but it is, but you can see all the aggregate on the top, and then you try to see the lead all, and it's
Okay.
get starting to swing it too.
Because one of the things we could do also is, you know, we've got this guy coming in from Nebraska that's gonna quote us on doing some, maybe some grinding and overlaying on bridge approaches, just getting some numbers. But rather than replacing that whole concrete slab, we could also do an overlay of AC on top of that. It's a wearable surface, but it gets you a lot more years down the road too.
Really?
Yeah.
Just straight asphalt? Sure. Well, I didn't know you could do it.
I mean, it doesn't wear it's not as long lasting as concrete, but and that happens all the time where they come in and they overlay with a 2-inch of the AC, and that becomes your wearable surface.
I just thought the bucket would just destroy it, but.
If it's smooth, it should not at all.
Fair enough. I learn something every day.
That's that rubber blade in the bottom of it, that's to save that floor.
Sure.
No,
It's like a Teflon.
Yeah, it's a solid, yeah, it's solid rubber. Rectangle. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not questioning it. I didn't know. I just figured that asphalt would be soft and would gap.
What needs to be done is that tip, the slant metal tipping floor that, you know, push it and slide down. Underneath that, all of those laterals are gone, except for 2 or 3 of them. And that, what does that, those come out, you know, bolted to the wall, and they come out and they keep that thing from, when the weight hits it, it keeps it from bending and bending down like that. Right
So
now.
how long have you guys have in the past have had to constantly weld on that, correct?
Yeah, we have had to roll on it, but now that I got somebody that's that well, but he, a couple weeks ago, I've been pretty, you know, the weld and tighten it all up, and it's still like, so tight. So
Is that, and who are you using to do that?
Dylan's all on.
And he doesn't mind jumping in that pit and welding there, huh?
No, he came out, he know it really, didn't mind at all, and then, he also welded our bucket, with our bucket started filling, it's solid and safe too. So,
Okay.
he does a good job. Really,
I didn't know he was a welder. Yeah, knew him as a plumber.
Yeah, he plumbs and he's does what it is.
Okay.
And he's actually on my house and all too, and not really having what he's done.
Okay.
And he doesn't really charge a lot of it.
So when you said that. All right. Anything else for Brandon while he's here? Anything else for us? Did we check everything off the list?
And so,
Brandon, I guess there is one more thing. So talking about the rock. If you're gonna need rock, be looking ahead too, because maybe it's one of those things you're gonna say, hey, twice a year, no matter what, we're gonna bring in a load of rock. Right? And that'll keep it better maintained instead of having to bring in a bunch all at once and letting it get so bad. So, but
well,
if you just look ahead and say, hey, we're gonna need rock every year. And if I have it, you know, brought in at these intervals, then
yeah, well, that is almost all asphalt underneath that. You know, the road going down the C and D area on the side of it, once it is, it just has been covered up with dirt, mud from people, you know, from the dump truck pulling up the dirt. Loader, the track loader come up. And so now that I've got it straight down, it's solid.
Okay,
And that's where the drivers up on the 54 area.
so I knew that was asphalt. I didn't realize going down to the
Yeah, it's
Quonset.
all asphalt. I've never seen it and then seen it when I
Just
first started
disappeared.
and then it just got covered up and.
Okay.
So now I
Okay.
got it straight down. It's nice and solid.
So since you're here, let's circle back to the tires, the solid tires for this new backhoe. So if I heard you right, both machines need solid tire.
Yeah.
Okay, so then how do we go about getting solid tires? There's no point in switching the tires off the old machine to put them to the new one if they both need new.
And we were from McLaren. And they ship them. It's still like this way. I think it takes a couple weeks to get them. And I don't know exactly, I think they're like 7 grand. But they last forever. They last for the last 7 had for lasted for about 4 years. Pretty good.
So they're coming in, they're mounted, right? They're a solid rubber tire mounted on their own rim.
All we gotta do is take off the pneumatics on the floater and then put those on, yeah, pretty easy. Slip right on the.
So I'm of the opinion that there's no sense in transferring tires.
Correct.
We just is. So we need to do the research and get the information on, and that'll come to you.
Yep, Heather has that. She'll be able to watch it out there. More than one place to one of them. There. Yeah, there is, but I know that in the past, Charlie didn't make one room, and so did the last set we got, but I can get estimates from it.
So at that kind of dollar figure, we're gonna need
Yeah.
different supplier, different vendors. So let's not put this new one into service until we get those solid tires.
And then I just be thinking about when we take those other wheels and tires off, those are gonna have to go back on that machine in 2.5, 3.5 years, whenever we get to those hours, 4 years, whatever it is. Because when we sell that machine or trade it in, you're probably not gonna be doing it with the solid rubber
With the
tires.
tire.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we just wanna make sure they're stored inside and they're still there when that time comes.
Okay, so you'll get going. You got a lot of things to do for us.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, I just.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Go back out where it's hot.
Yeah. We can run down. Josh, take over.
All right. Thanks, Brandon.
All right, thank you, Doug.
Okay. Let me get back here to this agenda. Okay. The next we have Nick. You got his sales. Is he coming? Don't know. Okay, well. Okay, we're in good shape though, but we do have this tonnage report in front of us. Have you gentlemen, you looked at it, reviewed it? Are you comfortable signing it? Okay, so does someone want to make, you want to look at it again?
Already looked at it.
Want to make a motion to approve the transfer station tonnage report? Yeah, it came in after that too. So,
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer station tonnage report.
okay, is there a second? Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, motion carried. That's all right. We'll sign that later. That's done. Payroll, we did approve. That's done. We have some documents here. I assume is the paperwork from the. We've already approved all this. We just need a signature. Yeah. Okay. And that's someplace. We'll put that. There it is. All right. Okay. Suppose we will just move on down to other business. We have item number 3, the Equitable Solutions Proposal. That was from last meeting. I didn't see that as any new information. But well, then I missed it.
You're talking about the information at the end.
Okay, yep. There, I see it. There you go. Hey, John. There's Nick. You're on.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Nick Soto. I'll start a
You want to come up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, come on up. I mean, just jump you right in here.
Yeah.
You need a little time to get ready. Don't feel rushed.
Sure. We're good to go. You guys are.
Some space for you.
So. TV's handing you guys out, kind of packets of really the concept that I discussed with John, Tammy, this kind of all together of what a solution I might be able to bring to a troublesome at-grade crossing in Brown County. So if you look at the map, it's a pretty tight S-turn crossing. It's at grade at the actual railroad track. However, on this, it looks like it's going to be over there, the east side of the track. There is a guard barrier that has been struck and is no longer there. And it goes all the way down to lower than at grade where the tracks. So it could cause a pretty bad accident for your motorists there. We do have a lot of travel that is coming from the Nebraska area south, coming to Walmart, and even some other, stuff in Hiawatha. The concept that we've kind of come up with is adding these chevrons to be LED enhanced and solar powered. So currently there's just static chevrons out this troublesome turn. There is no way to really tell that there is a turn out there. There's no lighting until you are approaching it. Most of it is all cornfields or crops there right now, so it all kind of looks the same. It's a very straight shot, especially coming from the south. So motorists aren't really paying attention until they get right there on top of the turn. And like I said, we did have, it looks like evidence of a crash at one point or some sort of.
There is a guardrail rail right here, but it's couldn't get
Yeah. So if you look in the packet, there is an MX chevron that you'll see. And these are going to be what I would propose to you guys of installing. So this type of system is made for rural road users. It will flash 24/7, 365. Or you can program it to operate during a certain time of the day. So your motorists aren't being, I guess, so they're kind of confused by the lighting situations. You want them to actually respond to the lights in the correct manner, but not going to get used to it all the time if they see it flashing for them. So with that, if you look at packet 2, there's also a little white and black square that's hanging down from one of those MX chevrons. That's actually a little tiny small form factor radar unit. Now, that radar unit can actually go out and look at your roadway surface and only activate these MX chevrons when a vehicle is present. So the only time these are ever going to flash is when it's tracking a vehicle coming from north or southbound. Now, when that's activated, no matter what direction the vehicle is coming from, it's going to activate both sides of the turn on that grade crossing. So the vehicles are going to see those chevrons flash in sequence at the proper FHWA pattern. They're all MUTCD compliant signs, 18/24, which you guys have out there now. And then it's going to let your motorists go safely through this at-grade crossing. Now, the other thing too was there is in your packet, there's an R247 that is also displayed for the data sheet. Now, this is something that the county might also be interested in pretty much anywhere on your rural roadways. This is an enhancement that you can have, whether it's the LEDs go on the perimeter of your sign, or you have a 12-inch round ball LED that is on top. And these can also be solar powered as well. So these systems run into the perpetuity or until you have to go out and replace a battery, effectively in around 5 to 7 years roughly. But they're very low power consumption. They're only running off of a 15-watt panel as well. Now, what we were also proposing was in supplement to your NX chevrons with the radar detection, you do have 2 advanced warning signs for this troublesome turn. One of the things that John was proposing was supplementing an LED round ball on top of your existing sign. You don't have to buy any new aluminum. Use the same post, same sign. You're just making this highly visible to your motorists. And what we could do is we could also put the radar on that sign, so you have even farther advanced warning to your motorists on either side. And then that will actually send a signal back to your chevrons via cell, or if you don't have cell service, then it goes to a radio frequency. So no matter what, if you have some part of comms, you always have a backup where your signs are going to be. Now, one thing I will say about this system is that it seems like it's really high tech and it might not be useful to you at the moment. But on the maintenance side, when you look at these all come with 3 years of free cloud connectivity. Now, what that means is I actually have a demonstration if you'd like to see it. And this is a live demonstration of Linden campus. These systems that they have are school beacons and then RRF crossers. They use the same exact solar power panels. They use the same power modules, all the same components that these do. We're just looking at a different aluminum sign for your motors. So let me turn up the brightness quick, and you will be able to see exactly what the county would be able to see for maintenance operations. So you can see system health. It's going to decrease truck rollout time. Your crews aren't going to have to scour the county and see what's knocked down. They can go and look online and say, hey, I don't have a battery that's charging. I know I need to order that or grab it from the shop and go out to said location instead of making the trips. So right here, what I have is the whole city of Linden, Kansas, and the green are all beacons that are in operation in complete health. So as you see right here, this is all of your systems that are currently in their inventory for their whole city. They can go through here and they can write notes from the last time someone was dispatched out there to fix a problem. But also you can go in here and see, okay, what is my status? It's going to tell you exactly what these colors are. So as you see right here, which is, it's a good thing that can have kind of some different colors displayed for you to show it. Right now, it's alerting us that there is some sort of condition where you may have eyes on it. It's not saying it's a fault that it's not working, but there's probably something out there. Most likely what these ones are, it's a firmware update. Those go out automatically. So what probably happened is they're just waiting for the firmware file to be sent out. Once that happens, they'll go to the stats. But however, this is a good tool for the county to look at because you can go ahead and click into any of these. It's going to give you exact location. I'm going to get my charts. This is actually showing this system right now is charging at 15.04 volts. I have my temperature ratings, my cell strength. There are some other things that you could add to it if you wanted. It would be more like you could see activations per day if you really wanted to track that. Event logs, settings, and then any notes if you do need to go in there and say, hey, this one was struck at this day. We can actually start cataloging our incidents out there. System information, a lot of this is going to be mostly stuff you won't need. However, it's going to show you your account name, the name, and then also it is this one right here. I would need if something does happen where you need to get it turned in for RMA for like a warranty or something like that. The great part about these two is These all connect up to each other as soon as you turn them on. So they're very, very easy for road crews to set up and maintain. We can connect to these by Bluetooth via cell phone. So your road crews can go out there and get onto their cell phone immediately and see exactly what's going on. You don't have to take a computer out there. Another good part about this too is, let's see, if I go into here and I go to my profile, go to the city of Linden. Through all of your profile management too, you could actually get eyes on target of what you're looking at in the county as commissioner. Now, say you guys don't want to have any ability to do any of the programs. You trust your road crews to go ahead and take care of that responsibility. You guys just want eyes on and seeing what's going on. So if someone calls in and says, hey, Mr. Commissioner, I have a complaint for this sign, or, I saw this one's not working, you can actually go and verify that. Tammy could see that as well. Your road crews could see that as well if they have computers. So as soon as they see something happen, they're going to get alerts, whether it's being knocked down or something isn't working. And we can go ahead and go through all of that through this interface and actually program it to where certain people get certain levels of access. But other than that, that's kind of the broad overview of the solution concept. However, I did have another kind of an idea if this wasn't something that you would want to pursue initially as just a full-on project of like, let's get this out there, let's make meaningful impact. I know there was 2 other locations in this Padonia area that do have some troublesome turns as well that I did site survey for while I was on this location too. It would be the same exact system. So you're pretty much expanding the scope of work and everything.
You're talking about the 247, or are you talking about the?
It would be the chevrons and the 247s. Yeah, it would be the same exact thing. Now there is a KDOT innovation grant that is out there. It's a $2 million pot that is up for grabs. And what this is it could be split into just 2 $1 million projects, or it could be federated out into multiple, as long as 2 million is met. This is throughout the whole state.
When is the cutoff on?
Yeah, good question. So the cutoff is on September 11th for proof of concept. I looked at that page while I was actually on the way here. It's a fairly simple page to build out proof of concept. Full submission is due on October 11th. So with that being said, if this is something that you would like to pursue on, I'd be more than happy to help Brown County with some of that footwork.
What does that help look like?
It would be me giving you all of this data, saying, hey, this is what we propose to the state. If they ask how is this going to be meaningful, say that is going to decrease possible collisions with this at-grade crossing here.
So, and John, at this location, since you've worked for the county, you had to go out there very many times and fix the guardrail or?
Guardrail belongs to railroad.
Okay, so
Railroad doesn't maintain it.
railroad doesn't maintain it. Okay.
So whenever a car goes through there, get all put back up. I think there's only 3 in there, correct?
Yeah, there's 3 per turn, and that's what we would
And
propose
those
as well.
chevrons are put in there by the railroad also, so it's not the county guys going out there.
I put 2 of them on west side, second from that railroad. I put 2 of them up there last year, but I have replaced them on this side.
Who does the maintenance for you guys? So in other words, if one of the units goes out,
Yeah.
do you?
So how that would look is, say a vehicle comes through this turn and they do go through and hit one of these chevrons. What you would do is you would be responsible for the maintenance of that by taking the old product off, stripping the pole or whatever you have to. You can come to me and say, hey, this is what I need.
I'm looking for more like if it just stops flashing.
Okay, so perfect instance, that sounds like it would be an RMA type thing, a warranty. So most of these products have, I believe, 2-year warranty on them. So if that does happen, then you just say, hey, Nick, this is the serial number of the product that I have. And then most of the time, they just send you a replacement part immediately. And then depending on what it is, you either send it in or just throw it away. Just be responsible with disposing the electronic.
Are you out of Wichita or
Yeah, so our headquarters is in Wichita. That's where our warehouse
do
is.
you do maintenance on some of the signals then?
In some aspect, yes. So, yeah, with Hiawatha, we've been helping them quite a bit with the signals out here.
Okay, that's where I remember you from.
Yeah, yeah.
I was the guy out there that was, remember when the signal was down. So
Oh,
I'm
okay, yeah.
trying to
yeah.
remember where I've seen you.
Yeah, I was over here on Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So there's some maintenance aspects that we do. We can't do bucket truck work,
Right.
just due to insurance problems and stuff like that.
But your company does provide.
Absolutely.
Maintenance
Yeah,
packages.
we have a signal tech that he is IMSA Tech 3 certified.
Okay.
So he can do any of this work. I can as well. But yeah, if you also have a problem with that, it's either going to be me or him
Right.
that would come out and assist your crews, making sure everything is wired properly, programmed properly.
And you're IMSA certified, right? When you came out?
Me,
Yeah.
so mine lapsed. I was certified. I just didn't pay their $500
Right.
to recertify. So, but yeah, my background, I previously was a traffic signal technician in Overland Park, Kansas. Right. So, yeah.
Okay.
Are there more warning signs leading up to this curve? I got
Yeah.
the chevrons. Is there something that says curve ahead and curve ahead?
Yeah. So, I think it's like about here or right here where you see that
Right.
shadow. There
Oh,
is
Yeah, it's like an REA pool.
there is a turn and
Okay,
symbol, and I believe it is a 25-mile-per-hour turn in there.
okay.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, and that's where we would propose if you wanted to supplement and make it an R247. And then you could put the radar in there and then it's even farther in advance, but I'm sure they see it. So,
So again, I don't mean to cut you off, but John obviously
yeah,
has brought a lot of this together. So if you had a lot of maintenance problems out there because people slamming into things at that curve over the years? Or is it basically you just see that there's accidents and
There's been accidents there, but it's usually 3-2 accidents. Or 5, but
okay,
so a lot of that doesn't get reported,
right?
but. I think so. Corner gets missed, but there is brand new black marks out there. I'm all thinking, I said, we really need to do something. See if we can prevent this from happening. The left.
Yeah. Are you doing, so the stop signs with the LEDs flashing around,
Mhm.
they're really popular. They go in all over the United States. Are you doing any of the? So basically, that curve ahead sign, are you doing them on curve ahead signs also?
yeah. So, it wouldn't be a curve ahead. That
For instance,
Yeah, we have done those, but like an instance where I have an early warning sign and then I have a radar on that early warning sign that is then communicating somewhere upline to the actual flashing sign. I have this at 99th and Hilltop in Kansas City, Missouri. There is a T intersection that sits at the top of a hill. And if you're at the top of the hill, you cannot see down at a certain distance that cars are coming in. So they've had people get T-boned at this intersection.
Yeah.
And what it's the same thing is that we put a radar unit at the bottom of the hill. Whenever they see it, it flashes, and we programmed it to sync at a certain second to the sign up ahead. So when you're a vehicle at that T intersection, it's flashing and it's saying, hey, if this is flashing, you need to pause. I can't remember what the exact verbiage is, but that's what it's doing. So.
Okay.
I don't have any questions. I'm just trying to
On
get
the
away.
other side of the bridge, on the north side of the bridge, is the railroad crossing the Suster, so you can't move that.
Right. Right.
So that would interfere with the vision of the railroad side if we put another curb sign, anything in front of it.
Right.
Which is not approved.
And I think this is kind of that a thing that you might want to look into just because of your average Google traffic numbers as well. I know Tammy's put the Armadillo trackers out there, and which helped that she did that because I actually got my numbers for how I wanted to rate this solar panel. So now when you look at it, there's not an overly high volume of vehicles, but the amount of vehicles that are actually coming into a collision or an accident where it's turning into that on those low numbers, that's really high percentage when you look at your safety on that road. So, but just did want to throw that out there as well.
Okay.
Go back to the grant program.
Yeah,
So you were saying that this may qualify for a grant, and if so, is that 100%? Is that a match?
I think, well, so this would qualify.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It would qualify.
So if you go to the grant page, if you just Google KDOT Innovation Grant,
Innovation, all right.
Have you looked at that page, Tammy? You have? Okay.
so this grant, what it's for is bringing new innovative tech to Kansas communities that don't have it already installed.
Sure.
So it's perfectly within scope, whether it's vehicle safety, pet safety, multimodal.
What does it cost Brown County to have you assist on writing that grant?
Nothing.
So you'd be willing to assist on getting a grant written using a product that you guys rep?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And that's how we operate too, is that if we're going to do the footwork for you and provide you with all the information that you need for your project on this grant, is we would just hope that you also have the same respect to.
And not go to Econolite or some other brand or Wanko or something like that after
Exactly.
you help get us.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah. You
That-
know,
that would-
at
that
the
would
end of
be
the day,
pretty
that's all it is,
rigorous.
just
Yeah.
it's a gentlemanly agreement, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously we would like to have your business, but it is your option.
No.
So,
I got to their page. I just couldn't, maybe I'm on the wrong side.
so let's see if I can.
I didn't see anywhere a link to the grant.
Okay,
So you've been on it already, Tammy? You already have the link?
So right here, this is it. So innovative technology program, eligible projects, roadway on and off the state system, rail, aviation, unmanned aerial, bicycle, public, and software technology structure.
My question with the grant was, I guess the big question is how much of it do we fund? And how, is it?
Yeah.
What's
The
the?
90-10, 80-20, those kind of things.
Right.
So right here, match requirements, so
There you
funding,
go.
$2 million are available per fiscal year, maximum of $1 million project, like I said.
Yeah.
Funds are reimbursement only, so a minimum of 25% non-state match.
Good eyes.
So.
I was thinking.
Yep, and then, yeah, here's the how to apply. I actually did call, if you do need to call anyone on this program. I did call Michael Flory on my way here, and he answered immediately, and I just kind of discussed it a little bit with him too. But yeah, he's a great resource to use for this. He's one of the program directors. And then let me see where. So here's kind of tells you a little bit how the applications are evaluated. Okay, here's your project concept form. So this is what we would want to submit by July, or not July 11th, sorry, September 11th.
Are you sure it's September? I thought I saw July there when you.
This opened on July.
Okay, okay.
Yep, the new year helps in this. I don't know if my internet will. But it's really just like a one-page sheet. It's very cut and dry of what there is that you need to apply. Let's see if it'll open.
Yeah.
District, density or district three, appropriation or district three starts in development.
Right.
So, just something about it.
John, I mean, I'm glad you're looking out for stuff like that. I mean, we like the idea. It's, as you know, funding is everything. And
Absolutely.
I mean, I was just in Colorado last week and they have these things everywhere going up the canyon.
Yeah.
You know, that exact same system. I don't know if this is the same company or not. A lot of people, you know, are making similar.
Could be,
I
I
don't-
believe
but-
they are approved by CDOT, so.
Yeah, they were pretty extensive on the tight curves.
Mhm.
We just don't, the county doesn't have a lot of money. So if there is a chance to put something that's innovative and prevent somebody from,
Yeah,
you know, crashing there, that we could get a grant. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I wouldn't mind looking at it. Yeah,
So my question.
you can come up here, John. You don't have to sit back here.
As, all this technology stuff, you have a start price, but then go into every year you gotta pay for this license or that license.
Yeah.
How much does it cost?
so your first 3 years, you're going to get full comm for your Bluetooth capability. You won't be able to change any settings remotely from the computer unless you wanted to buy the upgraded package for that. To me, I don't think that's really all that necessary unless you're doing the school beacons where you're doing a lot of timing changes. Just stick with the basic 3-year package is what I would do. So I tell customers. If you do want to continue with any of those other enhancements, you can, but if you want just the basic package after your 3 years, I believe it's either $79 or $99 per power module, which is one of these show. So each one of those that have a power.
So, yeah, like 6 of them, that'd be $600.
Yeah. And I mean, so here's the other thing too, is that the grant covers that software. So if you wanted to package those extra years into going forward, so the county has even more breathing room to where, okay, we don't have to do our software updates after that 3 years. We have 5 years, we have 10 years of connectivity, what have you, we can do that. It's still going to be covered in the software for this innovation grant. So.
And sometimes sound good, but then in the future they.
Yeah.
What's the expected lifespan of something like that?
If it doesn't get hit,
Yeah.
we tell everyone that, 10 years on electrical components, for ruggedized electrical components is usually what you're trying to get out of.
Another location for that flashing light or whatever would be coming from 73 highway on 290 Fordsford on that. The first, there's 2 double curves there. There's a cross there, the motorcyclist was killed at that intersection, at that first curve. And then 4 years ago, there was a high school student that tried to play needle there. They almost got him too, because he was being chased by another individual, but he shot over that. In the airport, he goes 150 feet. So. That would be the problem. Talking about that too.
So can we, can we visit about this as a commission and just reach back out to you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you need me to come out and, talk to you after your discussions, that's fine. I don't have a problem coming out here. If you even need me to go out and meet you at the site, I don't have a problem with that either. So
Where do you travel from?
I'm out of Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah, so you guys are in my territory. I go pretty far out on the northeast side. I go out to Marysville, just north of Manhattan. And then I cover pretty much all of northeast Kansas, almost to Emporia, and then Lewisburg. And then the whole state.
Okay, so just so I'm reading this right, the total chevrons will be the S curve across the tracks. You'll have 3 chevrons on each side. I mean, that's what this project is.
Yep, that is what and that also includes the radar too.
That's radar.
Yep, so if you look on there, it says roll up group B,
Okay.
that is the radar. So even if you said, hey, we think these chevrons are really good, but we want to program these to just operate during dark hours.
All right.
Now they're going to flash all the time during those dark hours. But you wouldn't have the radar for it. So the radar is just something that does make it nice to where they're only going to activate. I know you have a citizen that is right there, so I don't know if that would bother them seeing those all the time too.
Okay,
So
and then this one is a per pole, per sign.
yes, so that would be if you wanted to supplement your advanced warning sign. That is also a good quote to keep with you. Apologies. Because you can use that for anywhere in the county.
Yeah.
You can enhance anything. Yep, yeah, the light on the top and the solar panel is what you could put on any sign that you have.
And that doesn't require any software, any subscriptions for that. That's just a flashing beacon that's gonna have
Yep,
a battery that's gonna have a life
Yeah.
expectancy of
yeah,
so many hours.
exactly, and I think one of those batteries, for one of those small LEDs too.
Yeah,
Usually we can put, one battery in there with a 15, kilowatt panel. If you do want to put two in there, you're gonna get a lot of backup runtime just in
Right.
case too. So, and batteries to replace, I think are roughly anywhere like 45 to 50 bucks.
yeah.
For this small.
So John, do you know of areas off the top of your head that, just the flashing beacon with the solar powered battery backup above an advanced warning sign? Are there places that you can think of that have line of sight problems where those would be helpful, or is that something you'd want to kind of think about a little bit?
Oh, well,
They're pretty popular.
I think,
So,
yeah, going back to kind of the sites that John said, so this was the one that we talked about today. And then it was this one right here is the other one. And now when I was actually going to look for this one, I was confused by there's another one that's almost exactly like it. Yeah, right there, so there are some other instances where you could put these throughout the county, really in close proximity too. But yeah, those were kind of some of the other instances that we talked about.
Are the individual signs, are they grant eligible also? If you have a
Like
project?
static signs, just like that don't flash.
Well, I mean,
he's talking about the signs with the flashing.
yeah,
well,
you
maybe
said,
yellow.
you said I
Yeah.
have 5 places we
All
could
of
use
those.
that, we
Yeah.
be grant eligible, okay.
That's what I'm saying is so we can work on a scope of this for the grant, whether it's just you want to do this first one that John's brought to our attention, or if we want to go and say, hey, this is a good idea, maybe for this grant, maybe we do think of big picture and doing these 2 locations or 3 locations. Maybe you have other places that you're looking at for them. And then you go, hey, this is what we propose, smart beacons for Brown County. Here you go, state, this is what we're looking at. This is proof of concept.
Just
So,
for fun, would you give us the traffic counts, or maybe you did already, I didn't see. How many,
you have around 294 to 310 average.
average daily count?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
seeing more, I think, from southbound. Of what it was.
Okay,
So,
I would send them to you. Someone.
they're in here somewhere.
yeah, I remember that number just because I asked you and I had to send it.
Remember was to you.
Somewhere in that ballpark. So that's what I'm saying is that those are low numbers, but you're getting a high volume of incidents on that one location. So. But, yeah.
Okay.
Are these systems, Mr. Pollock was talking about the technology side of this thing. If you let the communications piece of this thing lapse, I mean, does this thing still function?
Yeah, exactly. So even if you said, we don't even want to go with the Bluetooth connectivity again, because what these do is it's all communicating through a very low protocol like 4G wavelength.
Right.
And all this is it's an industry standard that is just for sending data packets that are just like very low storage. It's been grandfathered in, so it's not going to go away in the future. That's what they're using for this technology. But yeah, if you don't want to go with that after your 3 years, these do run off of a radio link too, so you're not going to be without.
Okay.
But yeah, good question.
Okay. All right. We will.
Yeah, the connectivity part, obviously, if you have a lot of these systems in place and, you know, obviously there's a call for, I don't think Brown County has a whole lot of need for the connectivity because even if we put it in, it's not that hard to go check on a few systems out there.
Yeah.
If you're, so.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that the connectivity it's already a baked in feature. If you will,
Right.
to it.
Right.
So, I mean, as soon as you get this system, you're going to see all of that health check right there.
Right.
So. But also, to kind of like what Linden does is they give me full access to it. Just so they can say, hey, Nick, can you come out and check this?
Yeah.
Can you look and see what's going on? And I know exactly right away if it's something that I can fix or I need to order a part before I head out there.
Are you guys doing their traffic signal maintenance in that town also?
So Linden has 0 traffic signals.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Don't know.
So no, but as you see right here, most of their connected beacons that they do have are all off of the highway. So they did have to get KDOT approval for those, which KDOT said, yeah, these are fine systems doing it with their put. But yeah. But with that, but I think the closest signal maintenance that we do to you guys would be here.
All right, fair enough. Well, thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you for the time.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, there is a part for
Okay, I think we
you.
got you in the
Please,
drawer here.
yeah, please use me as a resource.
Will.
If you guys do have any other questions, like I said, we do have a signal tech too, that's his main job. He doesn't worry about sales like I do. So if you do have any questions on the tech side of house, reach out to me and I can get you his contact as well.
Does he need to see anything on that armadillo while he's here? Nope, it's in good shape. All right, perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh,
Whoops.
sorry.
It's all right.
Appreciate it.
It's all right. Lay bounce. Okay. You called John in for about that Sterling, right? Did you have something you?
I have something I want to say. Got a call from Gary about taking the Mac.
Well, same subject. Okay.
Currently, the trainees were using that truck for training. I don't know. You know, I don't focus on doing training every day. I do it whenever we have the opportunity. So that being said, tomorrow we're not mentioning, today we're not. Just depends on, I guess, what the procedure is going to be. The Sterling has been a problem child ever since it came to Brown County from.
So I think the decision here was just to eliminate that problem, take it off the road and either we get it fixed right or it goes away.
Well, but we just put $14,000 in.
John, what is the problem? Like when you take it down, it basically dies on you, right?
Yeah, when it won't show a code.
Okay.
No codes will be shown. But if you're driving down the road, it's just like you turn the key off. And there you are. So you turn the key off and turn it back on, and it takes off again. Okay, we've had it in Kansas City. I took it down there. I said, I want your #1 man work on it. He found bad ground from the engine to the frame or chassis, called it chassis ground.
Mm-hmm.
I think it cost us $28 for the part. And that ran for what, a year and a half, and then it started acting up again.
So you said $14,000, one time. What did they do when they did the
Well, at
14,000?
that time, EPF filter was broken,
Okay.
the canister was broken, EGR cooler was, yeah. it's
Okay,
Pretty much there's a lot of parking. A lot of parking. But it is Detroit, so it's the only Detroit.
that truck was used when county got it. Is that correct?
No.
Oh, they bought it new.
Todd said it was new, but it has California emissions in it. And Todd said it died when they first got it, and then now they were trying to get fixed. Nobody could fix it, so. Anyhow, that being said, if we could find a new truck to transfer the hydraulics off of, this Mac bought it decent for $18,000 out of St. Louis. And it is it's a long wheelbase, just like our Peterbilt is, without a sleeper. The day cab is easy to get around with, it's easy to train with, because everybody can see what's going on. We're pulling the end up with it for training, but we're gonna put the other one on, the hot action, we put together on hot action up there. They size 75, so that being said. Currently, I hate to see it, but the little boy truck that goes in. For, so,
Okay. I guess why do you think they would be abused and tore up just because it's pulling the low boy?
well. I've got the one I bought from the county several years ago, and someone put the shipping fork in that. So I've got 3 years.
Does something happen though because it has a low boy on it? It's just extreme service, or is there something else going on?
People get in a hurry and
But not pulling a belly dump? That's all I'm trying to get at. If you're pulling that low boy and hauling the excavator around, there's a different mentality than just pulling an end dump or a belly dump.
well, a lot of it is, you gotta wait for the airbags to air up on the trailer. You gotta wait for the brakes to release. So if someone that is inexperienced and tries to get in and take off with the airbags, where the air brake's not released, you're trying to spin the tires.
You mean the trailer is just slow to catch
Yeah.
up? Okay,
There's a tremendous amount of air that has to go back in the back.
okay.
But anyway,
That makes sense, I guess.
I've seen it, trucks. Different districts get. Not getting taken care of like they probably should, and that's what happens.
Okay, okay, so the one thing, I mean, we do agree on, I want to reiterate, is Sterling just needs to stay off the road.
It doesn't solve the problem though.
Doesn't solve the
It's been
problem.
like this for 15, 20 years,
Well, I think,
but it is getting worse, I think.
okay,
So we got a couple of problems. So number one, we got to figure out what we're gonna do with this truck. Idling the truck and not getting rid of it doesn't make any sense. If we get rid of it, we need to replace it.
but it's, he thought it was an 09. I think that's close.
So,
Don't recall. Okay,
the red one that we have is. I think it's a 12. It was the very first. It was the very first Sterling that we had, that didn't have depth.
okay.
It has that. Decent region.
It has a diesel exhaust
Yeah.
filter. Yeah, that does, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
The big cab is easy for the child to drive. It's easy to drive, it's easy for them to see what's going on. Take the test with. My thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
Fixing that road.
Day's over, I think,
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Well,
Okay. It's 3:16. Time's getting away from us. Anybody need to take a little break? Recess now? Everybody's fine? Okay.
there's one.
That's where we were. We were talking about the Equitable Solutions proposal. Let's get back there. So he did. Yeah, okay. Look like it's the same. Here's the different conditions. Right.
So, I just want to be clear. Does the commission feel that this project is going forward or not going forward? No, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Equitable Solutions that we're looking at right now. I know that he spoke about it, but I don't think we've made a decision, right?
No, haven't.
Okay. Okay, so this is just more information for us to take in. They're not asking for action to be taken today. Steve is today, wanting action taken on it today.
You mind? Okay. You want to talk to him some more?
I'm not sure why we're trying to revive or recreate kind of lands on a farm, it's agriculture, no, nowhere else.
So I think we got derailed a little bit in the last week's conversation, which this should address. Makes no decisions or changes related to classification or use. That part I understood. The part that is still up in the air with me a little bit, it has something to do with about.
On some kind of land.
Yeah,
Are you gonna put those back on land, or are you gonna put that, where's that at? That. Where in the county do we have that kind of? I think the gripe is not with the president, but with the state, how they're trying to change things and we need to we push it back a little bit to the state. And
do you want to, I mean. So he's, Bill says he's opposed to it, but you may be opposed to it for a reason that it might not actually affect. I don't feel like I have enough information, but I'll tell you that, I mean, my gut is I don't want to do it either. But I really don't honestly, I couldn't tell you why I don't want to do it.
So this reminds me of the RHID. It's, my question would be, why does Brown County, the size of Brown County need this? Why do we need to pay an additional, whether it's 13,500 or 7,500?
Should we just
Why do we need to pay an additional amount to appraise land when we already have an appraiser? That's my question.
Should we just ask him to come down again and ask more questions or are we?
We can, I just don't think it's gonna. If you were asking, am I for approving spending the money to do this, I would say no. That's where I'm at right now. If you think by bringing him in, he's gonna give us some new information, I mean, we can always do that. I'm not saying we don't talk to him. I'm just saying.
I just want to be clear in the reasons, our reasons. And if you don't think if it's a done deal anyway, we can just roll on.
or so what you was talking about some kind of. What was the words you use?
Let's get him down. If you got
Well,
questions,
That's just one question.
He was talking about market land versus
Yeah.
ag.
Market, that's the word.
That was the word, yeah.
well, I'm trying to figure that out.
So to me. What is market? Private land and some of it's in timber. Still a farm, it's not timber because I'm trying to raise timbers, it's because it's that derivative. So to me, it's still ag land and should be valued at the lowest pasture rate or whatever it is.
Okay, so this puts me
Makes
in,
sense, or-
in the essence, in the interest of making it an even longer meeting, could you just ask him to come down here? We'll ask him some questions and just really, if he walks down here, that's great. We will go right to him.
What you said last week about that everybody has much greater ability. And all those trees are gonna come up. But
I really don't, I mean, I'm not one way or the other on this thing, but I think if you got a question like that, he needs to answer it because I can't do it. I don't think this project touches that, but you may not like it for another reason. Anyway, he's coming. Okay. This FA's 51 project manual, I didn't really see anything. It's 196 pages long. Just going over the bid sheet. Is that normal when you get a bridge like that? Everybody says it is. She needs signatures. Okay, I didn't go all the way down.
So basically what I call it is that usually on most projects you do, you have a set of what they would call project specifications. So in lieu of the county not having standard plans, standard specifications, this document basically would govern that project, right? And then when you get into any kind of an argument over conditions on that job, this is what's going to govern. Yes, it is. And you can see what they've done is they've gone in and they've cut and pasted from other, because a project that small usually doesn't require its own set of special drawings. So they'll use something that's been used before. They'll go in and they'll cut and paste and make it modified to where it fits that project. That's what they've done.
Okay. Part that I got through, the numbers were all the same as far as the bid and things like that.
Yeah.
but Some things don't even apply, do they?
No, and that's when you're seeing where they've cut and pasted from others, you'll see a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily apply.
Okay. So when Steve comes down here, if he comes, I'm assuming it, you guys just ask him your questions. And I'll ask you mine. I'm looking at the lease purchase agreement for this backhoe now, which is something we already approved. Did we? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at something else. Come on down. Okay, questions about this thing? There's some hesitation on this side of the desk, and it's because of questions that we hope you can answer for us. Bill has, he can go.
So. How much market land do you think we have in the county?
I mean, acre wise or market dollar wise, I would have to run through and see.
So my thing is, if you have a farm, it's all ag land. There's no market land on there.
Right.
That, right? No.
If there's no market land on there, then this would not apply.
Well, so if it's timber, we're gonna call that market land, we're gonna call that ag land.
If it's part of a farm already and it's already qualified as ag land, we're not going to re-qualify it based on just the way it sits now.
Cause my, thing is, I guess, the state coming out here and telling us how to appraise stuff, not letting the county decide. Why is that the county's decision instead of the state's decision? Because,
Well, on ag land, yeah.
well, on any land, basically, but like I got timber on the ground, so the state profits from that, if they sell hunting licenses for that, so it's not a profit to me, it's a profit to the state. Why does the state want to increase the value of it, making paying taxes? And when they're benefiting from it.
Well, I mean, I can't speak for the state, but this is something that we do within the county. It's not something that the state is telling us we have to do. What Equitable Solutions is doing, that has nothing to do with that. They do give us guidelines on how to value land, but they don't tell us specifically what we have to value land for. That's based on the sales that we have in those neighborhoods for those years.
So, and I don't mean, I'm just trying to think Bill's primary concern, and if I'm wrong, just tell me I'm wrong, is that this study will be used to change the classification.
No, in no way. In fact, I think we addressed that in this.
You did.
Where he basically said if this will not be used for that purpose. That's not what I would be bringing him in for.
So, and then Steve, I would throw you a question as a two-parter, actually. So explain to me again in language that I can understand why or what this project will actually do, and then tell me what happens if we choose not to move forward.
Well, the simplest one is the second one, and basically nothing would change, we just do things that we've been doing in the past.
How would it affect you?
How it-
Yeah, there's a reason you want to do this, and if we choose not to,
Our value larger acres of market. So you're looking at a straight line increase when you're looking at what we do as sort of value of land, and it goes up based on the number of acres. So once you get up to a certain point, it's basically just, it's getting out of hand. And so what this would allow us to do is look at those larger acres of land in a different manner. I mean, we're still looking at them in the way the state wants us to, but we're looking at our incrementals differently and trying to mitigate large acre of land, because those large acres are not going to sell for the same as the smaller acres, because the smaller acres are supposed to be incorporating all the infrastructure that you see out there. So what that does is that what we are trying to do is mitigate taking that same value forward for those larger acres. Does that make sense?
No. Let me ask you a question. Yeah. So $13,500, right? Review, develop necessary influences for superior, inferior traits.
Right.
What does that mean?
That's going to be if we've already got, what is it called, an influence factor. If we have an influence factor on a parcel, he will probably look at that to see if it needs to be influenced differently. So what that does is basically, if you've got a parcel of land and it's market, your land is valued at a certain rate. If we put an influence on it, say of 50%, it's going to be at 50%.
What would cause you to put an influence on a piece of property?
There's any number of factors. I mean, it could be land that, you know, is marshy or swampy, or could be that there is, well, waterways, there could be, I mean, there's a lot of different influences. I mean, I think it's something like if you were close to the railroad tracks, that would be probably an influence, I would think.
So an influence can be negative or positive?
It can be both. It can be both. Yeah, I mean, if you've got ground that sits like where the new station is out there, I mean, that's prime real estate for anybody wanting to put up that kind of business, and so they're gonna spend an exorbitant amount of money to get that. And when they did buy that, it was just land only, and so it was influenced as such.
So how's that affect what the taxes will pay? I mean, it all comes back to the.
Well, yeah, I mean, their value would go up because of that. If they're influenced in a positive, like that one was, then the taxes for the land itself.
I guess so my number one question is, if the county spent money to do either Plan A or Plan B, is it gonna increase people and the amount that people pay in taxes?
I am hoping that it will help to lower the as far as value goes. I can't speak for the tax side of it, but yes, generally speaking, if their value goes down, then it would decrease their taxes.
But you don't know.
We won't until we go through, but I mean, if all the indicators are there with the larger acres aren't selling yet, then we would be doing that. So that's, I mean, it's at this point, with the way that Ryan does this, I can't say it's all but guaranteed, but it's a pretty good, there's a pretty good chance that this is gonna work out in the favor of those larger landowners.
What does it do to the smaller landowners?
I mean, anytime we change one, it'll increase others. I mean, it all goes back to that balancing act of our budgets and such. So what the mill is that being set at. So. But
Do you understand why, at least like, I would be hesitant to say, yeah, let's spend some money?
I do understand that, yes, I do. I mean, I personally think that I've heard a lot of complaints from larger larger acreage tax owner that come in and
So,
why is it so high and, you know.
so let me ask you this. You're agreeing that larger landowners in Brown County might be paying more than they should be paying?
I would believe that, yes, based on.
Okay,
what
so
Brian was saying.
why does it take an outside company to change that? Why can't we change that? What,
Because right now, I'm following what the state tells us is the way that they want things value.
so this company would come in and say, you don't have to listen to the state?
No, we're still valuing it the way the state wants, it's just that he has a different approach to the larger parcels. And I believe that that has been approved or at least signed and looked at by the state and they don't have a problem with the way you're doing. So. That's what I would like to propose.
You have any other questions?
Well,
Cause you asked basically the same question.
my question was the same as. So if we have a known problem or a perceived problem that larger acreages are getting charged too much. Then I wondered why we couldn't just make the adjustment in-house. I thought. Yeah, why do we need to hire an outside contractor if you can, and forgive me, I mean, I don't know ins and outs of your system.
With my analysis of done the last few years, I don't personally have the data to back it up, it's not the way that I would feel comfortable justifying it for the state. That's why I would like Ryan to come in and take a look at these and see what his beliefs are as far as this goes, and if there's a different way that we can look at it from what the state teaches. I mean, we're still gonna be doing it the way the state teaches, it's just going to be that we're gonna shift those higher price parcels, so those higher acreage parcels. We're gonna look at them in what I believe would be a more fair manner. Now, I'm not sure what that is. Because we have not been,
Sure.
we haven't been taught how to do that, that's not something that the state goes into.
So the nugget that I heard too from a few paragraphs ago here, minutes ago, however we do it, is that, you know, if any shift off of large is gonna shift it to the small and just can't help but do it mathematically.
Right, I mean, mathematically, anytime you give somebody a break at some.
Somebody gets a bird.
Somebody
Yeah.
else, right? And that's something that I do understand and I take that seriously. However, if the people with the larger parcels are paying more than you should according to this new study, then it would be my belief that they have been overburdened in the past. And so that to me would only be, it would only be right to look at that and see if that's true, which I believe, I wholeheartedly believe it's true. And correct the issue.
So if it's a question of data, this company brings a broader scope or range, whatever, of data. As a county appraiser, do you have access to like the state of Kansas to their data set, other counties and?
I think we could do it through what's called Assessment Connect, although that's going to be made by, I think, the end of this month. So I really don't, I wouldn't want it beyond that. Yeah, that's basically what we do as analytics is within the boundaries of our county.
Okay, so, if I read the room before, I don't think we were in a mind to approve this. Is that still the way it goes? And I'm not putting anybody on the spot. I didn't get any, and this is nothing, I just didn't hear anything that convinced me that we should do this. And I really,
Steve, so let me tell you where I'm at.
there
Okay?
you go.
The county has no money. Meaning the county's been spending more money than they've been taking in for too many years, right? And so we're in a position right now. Okay, and so I believe that the commissioners that sit on this board their number one focus is how do we bring things back to where we're not spending more money than we're taking in? And that's what we're working on, okay? You look at this as a betterment for your department, okay?
I look at it as a betterment for the county.
Okay, well, that's
your job is taxes. We're looking at everything. Right now, we're fighting tooth and nail to figure out how to pay the bills in a normal fashion.
Sure.
So everybody wants more money. And we're looking at ways of saying, we're only gonna spend money when we have to spend money right now.
Right.
And right now, I don't see why we have to do this. Does that make sense?
No, I.
It's not an attack on you or your department. It's basically. If I gave you a wallet with $100 in it to spend, okay, and you were in charge of. 50 kids to take them to an amusement park, you've got to be deciding, are we gonna do this, because once the $100 is gone, it's gone.
Right.
You understand?
Well, I wholeheartedly understand.
So that's my 2 cents.
Okay.
And so what I was hoping is that if you'd come in here and explain it in a manner saying, hey, if we do this, this is going to benefit the whole county because right now we're overtaxing the county and we think that this will be a way to basically offer some tax relief. But from what I'm hearing is it's not. It's going to put more of a burden on the smaller farmers is what you think. Or the smaller landowners, not farmers,
Yeah,
but just
I mean,
landowners.
And I can understand that. And anytime we make, an exception for one, it's going to be reburdening somebody else.
I know I.
That's kind of where I'm at on that. I mean, it's, yes, it does that, but in my estimation, if we've been overburdening some, I don't want to continue that. But, that I would have to see if there's some other way that I could, reword this kind of project. It's just for me to do it and follow state guidelines. That's where I'm involved.
So what I heard in this was that there is a possibility you could do that. You could do it on your own, but then you just said that.
Yeah.
So I didn't hear it.
It's gonna be one of those things where I probably would have to ask Ryan, and I don't know that he would give me that beat, that would be counterproductive for his business.
So as an appraiser, if you have the inkling or the feeling or the data that tells you in Brown County, Kansas, that larger market landowners are being overcharged, you don't have the operational freedom to say, well, I'm the appraiser here, I'm gonna make the adjustment on my own. Do you not have that?
If I can come up with it on my own and I can put it to the state in a situation where they would approve what I'm doing, then that would be the case. Yes.
So if as a professional appraiser, which you are, you've got all the certifications, I mean, and all the training and stuff. I mean, I guess I would think that's worth something. And if you said
Yeah,
it to be the case, then I guess why wouldn't the state go along with it any more than they'd go along with equitable solution?
right. I mean, if I have the reasonability behind it, if I can explain to them why, then yeah, they probably would. At this point, I lack the knowledge on what Ryan has done in order to do this in his county. I know he's done it on a multiple angle thing where he has increased, I think it was the base size of his parcels that hit from, and then he's also, I think he was coming at it from like I said, the aspect of we're not taking into account all the infrastructure that's out there because it's already been taken into account on the lower ones. I'm not sure how he's accomplished that balance. And so that would be something that I would have to try to find out if I was going to do that.
I guess. You got something else to say?
I just don't quite understand. Why, just because of the market property, why it would be overall, a difference in.
It's just the multiplication factor of the high value on this.
That's
So-
correct.
So. I want to go back to, so the appraisers department catches a lot of error. All right, and people sling a lot of errors your way. Now, what I've said, and I still believe this wholeheartedly, I think your numbers, I mean, from my experience, your numbers are pretty right with my gut feeling of the market. So, and I think your work year in, years out shows that you continue to get closer and closer to that number. And forgive me what it is, but it's the percentage that you're close to the state, like to the state of Kansas.
Now, it would be the percentage of what our what our sales were versus what our appraisal was.
So whatever that ratio is, I mean, that seems to me like that's a goal. Steve Markham wants to be pretty darn close to that number.
We wanted to be close to one in that one.
So what I'm trying to communicate to you is that your work seems to be going in the right direction as far as the state's concerned. So if Steve Markham, Brown County Appraiser, wanted to make some adjustments and he had the ability to do so, I don't know why the state would argue with you and you couldn't just do it on your own.
Right.
I'd encourage you to take the chance.
I mean, I think I can contact somebody there and see, you know, if they have, you know, any ideas on what they're doing, because like I say, I don't know without really probing Ryan about what he's done for his county to find out how he's adjusted his base sizes to get what he's doing, and how he's lowered the upper ones and how he has justified that. That would be where I would kind of be at a loss. Again, maybe it's because I've spent, you know, 15 years with this type of land analysis drilled in, and this is what the state wants, this is what, you know, this is how you do it. But it may be worth taking the phone call, if we see, you know, if somebody could share that with me as far as what we've done, and, you know, the reason why.
So what I want you to know, Steve, is that the commission is supportive of the appraiser's office trying and doing their best to get accurate appraisal value, price discovery, whatever you want to say. But I also want to encourage you to use, you know, the what do you say, the resources of your office. If we can do this in-house and save the county money, then you can take your expertise and what you know,
Right.
and kind of fight the same battle, but it doesn't cost us $13,000. Yeah, I'd like you to, I mean, I guess I would like you to try.
I mean, the other one we do have is we do have the other option where I actually complete mine as I normally would, and then Ryan would come in and make suggestions on how it's to be.
So just for fun, if is there ever a position where you as a Brown County appraiser, is there any Ryans looking for your information where they leverage?
Yeah. I mean, and it's really not as big as this, but I mean, I do have appraisers that call me and ask questions.
So do you do special projects for other appraiser offices?
Yeah.
No, it's just kind of
It's just
good natured sharing that
It's
cost.
knowledge that we would have under the current umbrella of what we do for the state. Yeah,
Okay.
this kind of falls outside of that, so that's.
So I think I guess what's the group's pleasure here? Are we gonna move on with this? Are we gonna approve it or disapprove? Or if we really don't even know the mechanics of it. If we wanna approve it, we probably have to say yes, but if we don't want to, do we have to say no? Just taking no action? Well, does anyone want to make a motion, I guess, to take action on this project? Okay, there's no motion, so I guess we just won't take action. I do really appreciate you coming down, taking the time to explain this to us. And I hope you understood that, you know, we respect what you do. And I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm telling you, I think your numbers are close enough. You probably have more authority to do a lot of this stuff on your own than you may even realize. I'm not an appraiser. I'm just taking a stab at it.
It's possible.
Steve, give it a shot.
Yeah, they're usually pretty clear what they do, unless I mean, you have to be able to justify what you're doing if it's outside of what they teach.
Can't you do that?
If I have data to back it up, my thing is I'm probably going to have to reach farther back to get that data. Right now, I think for land, I use 5 years worth of sales for that. I may have to reach back maybe even 10 years to try to get enough data on larger parcels.
Okay.
So, I mean, I can look at that and see if the data's.
And if you have the time and you have the desire, let us know what you found.
And I forgot to bring that down with me, but I did get our final ratio studies from the state for 2025. I believe we were at 994.31, if I remember correctly. So that's basically telling us we're staying pretty steady on our increases and keeping pace with what we were last year. But I think in 24, we were right around 94, 94.4, 94.2, something like that.
All right.
Those are.
Do you have something else for the lead?
going back years and years ago when every township was appraised by an appraiser and the state was involved. People were doing appraisal that lived there knew more, to me, probably knew more about the value of land than somebody bigger. They you live here, so I trust your views.
You trust us, Joe.
All right.
Okay. Fair enough. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
It is 10 till 4. Let's get back to this agenda. Last thing I think I remember was the employee wellness flyer, and that was just for our knowledge. Is that brand new? I mean, it's a brand new flyer, but the language, nothing changed on it other than the very. Okay, that's what it was. Oh, okay, and it talked about it, the Verda, that was the. Was Verda in the document from last year or anything? Okay, so this is something we need to look at, and did you read it? Do you approve of what it says?
I have no problem with what it says. The only thing in the future, we have the option of increasing the incentive, right?
Yeah.
I think that's,
Would I go to the dentist for $100?
okay.
So
So I mean, I think,
what I'm saying is, I'm not sure we're in the right direction.
you don't like the amount of the incentive, or you don't like incentivizing?
It was saving me $100. I want to be more likely to go to them. That don't make sense, but
Well, wouldn't they have dental insurance? Isn't that a given? That this thing says you have dental insurance and you go to your first exam and you complete an annual physical. Or you go to get your teeth done and have a physical once a year, you get $100 back. So
they're doing those.
Up to 200. It comes under the preventative healthcare. If we can keep our employees healthier, it costs us less in the long run.
is this for employees only? This program is for county employees only, not family or. Well, is there something you guys want? You don't think the number's right? What do you think the number should be?
No. I'm not saying we change it right now. I'm just saying we were just talking about this. We were looking at healthcare costs.
All right.
We talked about the number of participants is pretty low still, as far as a percentage. So it's something that we need to keep talking about in the future. How do we get that number up? Right.
Okay. Well, for now then this could be revised at any time. Do you like the words that you see? And if so, somebody make a motion to approve. If you feel it. I'll make a motion, we approve the wellness and salience flyer here found in our meeting minutes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any more discussion? Not all in favor, say aye. Aye. Did you say aye? Aye. Were we? Okay, fair enough. I didn't mean to just,
No.
the essence of time here, it gets to be 4 so fast.
Just back up a second.
Yeah.
Where I said I was wrong. Set it up for a second.
We understood. We understood. You won't go to the dentist if somebody pays.
No,
$100.
that's not what I'm saying.
Ah,
No, I'm just saying that I thought you got $200 for that, but that's not right.
okay, I'm gonna roll down on my back of the minutes list of things. I got a call from Brandon Roberts before our meeting, and the state definitely passed the threshold. So this thing's going to the feds from this emergency in early June, the rain.
Okay.
And he said the next step is basically FEMA to the president's desk. So it is en route, and if the president signs it, then we're in good shape. Do we need to say anything about the letter from the city of Hiawatha regarding the dispatch?
I think we just we're gonna have to discuss it a little bit more in our next workshop session.
Okay,
But if it's okay with you, I was gonna go back over and talk with Brad. We've already talked about it. We've already talked about wanting to be compensated in this fiscal year. So I will continue those conversations. Austin is going to provide us with, and I'll relay that to them because they've basically given us letters saying, we agree, we will pay you $125,000 a year. We need to make sure that we have, the next step would be an agreement that that they would be willing to sign. And if we're using one that's already in place, that's already been approved by the state, I don't know why they wouldn't sign it. So I will talk to him about both of those things.
okay, okay. Nikki, Bridget Rubidoo, has anything happened there? Should I reach out to her? I think I have her number. I might just reach out. Okay, well, you guys mind if I just reach out again?
No, that'd be great.
Okay, and then we got a call from David Thompson at Amberwell. He's still needing a health information. It just says David Thompson from Amberwell not getting information requested. Just needs some more health information. You know what that would mean?
That's different. Sailor is, oh, I don't think so.
Okay. So does David, I mean, if he needs it, does he need to reach out to your office again? Okay, send you an email. Okay, and that's all I had. Did you have anything? Do we need that? Tammy does, FAS 51. Sorry, gosh, got all about, I'm sorry. You were back there and I'm sorry. Sorry, Bridget, I didn't see you. So are these,
Books for everyone,
how do we do this?
however you want.
Is there one?
So were these project manuals part of the bid documents? In other words, whoever bid on the job, did they have this in hand prior to bid? The specifications that are all here.
I'm sure, and Grady would have put it together.
No, you do not look like an engineer, but
Okay, so all these books, they're all the same
Yes,
and they just all need to be.
okay, so the contractors obviously already signed. This was all electronically given to us.
yes.
I'm just saying,
I,
okay, so when I asked that question, they obviously have no problem signing if these specifications are for this project.
And-
Okay, and the reason I'm going there is if you have any kind of disagreement, right? Because these things are usually cut and pasted from other projects. Meaning rarely does somebody invent all of this for one little project. They go and say, hey, let's just use the one we did on the last bridge. And they modify it a little bit. And you can see there's been some modifications. So I'm just asking those questions. We're signing it. I went through it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in here that won't happen. But the contractor is saying, we agree to it. Okay, you get where I'm going?
Yeah.
It makes you nervous?
Doesn't make me nervous. It would, if I was the contractor, I might be a little bit more nervous because you're agreeing to things that clearly aren't part of this project. So it's not a huge thing because this isn't a huge project. So I'm just saying, apparently they're fine with signing this. I'm fine with signing.
Okay, we're fine. And I'm on just my first arrow. I'm gonna sign Brown County by me today, my name and then commission, is it, am I right here? Okay, I'm just walking through this because if he's gonna sign. Is that,
Yeah, if it only requires one signature, it should be the same signature. You should sign.
There you
I don't
go.
think
I
it's
need to
required.
sign every one of them?
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So you better get this.
Yeah, that was my goal. Oh, FAS 51 project manual here is in front of us, and we have reviewed it to the I guess to our satisfaction, is there any questions on this thing? And if not, we make a motion then to go ahead and sign the project manual for the 170th Street Bridge replacement.
And the contract amount, that's 767, 480.47, matching the bid.
Okay, well, I would make in the form of a motion to go ahead and approve and sign this project manual for FAS 51. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carried. I don't do that.
So Tammy, in the past, when we were doing bridge projects with bridge contractors, were the road and maintenance guys, were they acting kind of as the project manager on behalf of the county?
Brady.
Okay, so Brady. I know we talked to him a little bit about that before, as part of their services. He does change orders, project management, he does schedule changes, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Okay. There's things that talk about like mandatory pre-construction meetings and all that, and Brady attends those as well.
right,
Okay, so we're not required to,
no.
okay.
Is today the effective date of the contract?
Well, usually we're invited to go to the.
We are usually invited
Okay.
to go. There's, Bill and I have gone to some.
and-
So at the end of the project, who at the county, like, how do we release the performance bond and all that? Does that come through the commission? Like a formal release to the bonding company, or does Brady even handle that?
Brady.
Then explain that last one.
I think that we,
Explain that, see, what do I need to sign there? I'm on this page here. I don't know actually what they want done here. Would you did it? That's what
That's for the,
Did you have an answer? I'm sorry, cut you off.
that's for the bond.
yeah,
Yeah, we're not pulling the
We're not.
bond, they are.
right,
So this is for the
so
contract.
they'll handle that.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
The specifications require that they pull a performance bond and a payment bond.
They didn't need my date or anything written in there.
Oh, it says the date on this.
He's already. So the bonding company and the contractor have already signed it,
So do we just need to put the date?
correct?
Today's the 27th day of
The day that we're signing. the
July.
contract. But they were, that's already been submitted and as part of the documents.
Okay, so you put that one in there. That makes this one completed. I did it.
Do you understand the difference between the performance bond and the payment bond? Because they're required to get both of them. Or does anybody have any questions on that?
I didn't see anything.
So,
I didn't read the whole book.
yeah, no, I understand, absolutely.
I know, I was slacking, sorry, my bad.
You have explained the bonds to us before, but if you want to do it.
That's
again,
okay.
go
I
ahead.
don't think we need to.
Hey, I like it. I like to learn and
I did talk to Wellborn about those tubes. The lead time on them, any of their tubes is 2 weeks if they're in stock.
Okay.
it's 4 weeks if not, so like the 7 foot by 90 foot, it's not going to be in stock.
Right.
Because it's going to come in the 2 pieces. And so that would be 45 foot, and those aren't typically in stock.
Okay.
But he said 4 weeks.
I'm putting those out for a bid.
I will have to, yes. Because it's gonna be over the threshold, or over the dollar amount. And Jerry says if it has to have a band, can we have one 3 to 4 feet wide? Which we can, it would be custom, so we would need to notate that in the bid. As well as the head wall. And I don't know how to write that.
Is he
because
calling the band the coupler? Is that what he's referring to as the coupler?
They call them bands.
Okay. I guess I'll have to change the nomenclature of the bands.
What are you talking about? It's joining the two pieces together, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean a coupler?
I mean, it's the same thing, yes, I know. what
Don't
you're
shoot
saying,
the
but
messenger, guys. She's innocent.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
I'm just trying to learn.
please.
Just trying to learn.
It's all right. We just have a different way of speaking in Northeast Kansas.
And there's dimple bands and hover.
Which is it one?
Bill,
Which is it one?
we will talk about that later.
So when Jerry was here, I was trying to communicate. And I think Richard was too. We both were about not trying to have an adequate stock of tubes, but not going overboard.
Right.
So we need to figure out what that number
He
is.
took inventory sheets so he could go and get counts from all the places.
That is perfect.
So, cause I had made a past inventory sheets for them to just put the numbers, so. Because sometimes I can't read it. So I will need help on how to word this, but Jerry's wording on it was a head wall on one end that can take sheet.
So what I would do is. I would call the company that you're asking for a quote from. And I would explain what your guy is asking, and they may have different, they may call it just like I was calling it a coupler. And just ask them, I mean, if you explain it to them, they should be able to tell you how they want it worded.
Well, I'll have to put it out, try to get through the.
Right, but I'm sure these companies are all gonna use the same nomenclature, so if one can help walk you through it.
And they need to be.
Fancy. I'm sorry. A lot of stuff here. Anything else? Did we do what we need to do? I think I signed it. Yeah, I signed it. Now they need to be attested and all that.
Oh,
There's under that first green, right there. Test and time.
Nikki, you're the
you're the
notary, right?
tester?
Yeah.
You saw me sign that.
Do you have a notary? You do.
Okay, now,
Yes, David.
now while we're still here. So this is the lease purchase agreement between the county and the bank for the backhoe. So I see an exhibit A, this is, excuse me. Exhibit A, what it is, what it costs. Which this part I didn't quite understand, but that must have our down payment in there.
Yeah, it did. This was, if I remember right, of the 3 quotes that we got, they were the only ones wanting the down payment.
Well, they wanted
And we
20
were,
down.
we were agreeing that putting a down payment.
So here's exhibit A, which I understand.
Mhm.
And we've got a B, exhibit B here. Which is the 3 payments,
Okay.
which that makes sense to me. Then we own it.
That's 75 and then what
Right,
was the
there's
down
no-
payment?
What does that come up to?
Well, this would be 24 times 3 is 72.
72, about
It's some
$72,000.
change, 73,000 plus the 20% we put down, that would make sense with the interest.
That'd be your 4.95%.
Okay, so what's this exhibit C purchase option price?
Okay, in addition to such amount, the purchase price shall include the currently due base rental payment and additional rental due.
Is that if we just want to have it? I don't quite understand that.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they're putting that in there. Addition to such amount. Who was the loan officer? Was this Randy or? Okay, I think we just need to confirm why that's in there.
We could pay this, right, anytime?
Yeah, as I understand it, there was no penalty.
There was no, on their, yeah, upon leasing paying all base rental payments as required by the lease or exercising the option by the lease to purchase the equipment, it is. Those two amounts come out to,
This is what the note says. Our loan committee approved your request for a lease purchase. They approved the requested 80% or 68,000, which is what that loan document said on a 3-year lease rate. The lease has no premium, but it's a lease purchase, so it should just be the down payment and then 3 installments and then it's ours.
okay, so that's 68 by 38.62 for those two amounts.
No, different.
It is different.
We're just looking at the exhibits, Nikki, on this loan. There's just different options there. And my understanding, I think our understanding was that we were putting 20% down and 3 equal payments. So there's a couple of different exhibits that are attached to this, which aren't the same. Or maybe they're the same, but just a different.
Yeah, would Randy accept the call, you think?
These there.
Necessary, that.
Just a reference to, we're gonna be out of time, so our books, we're just gonna have to hold it. You guys okay with that?
I got one thing I like to, bring up, but. So.
Oh, yeah, no, I think you probably shouldn't. Are you calling the bank? Did you call the bank?
No, I'm not, I mean, we can do it from here. So we can hear it, or we can do it from there, it doesn't matter.
Are you calling the bank?
No, I don't have his number.
I don't either.
Think maybe need a policy change or something.
Yeah, so my understanding was the 80% loan, 3-year payment, and that's ours. Would you go, if she gets a hold of me, you ask them the question?
Do you want to ask them that?
Okay. I don't know.
They don't have.
Okay. Well, it seems to be a purchase option price and then base rental payment. I guess, and maybe they're the addition.
Right, yeah,
So when I see this thing, I look at this and say, this is what we're doing.
correct.
All right, so can we just put our initials on this and then call it square? That's what I'm gonna do. We'll make an executive decision. We know what we're signing. And we know what we want. We put that on there. Okay, I'm gonna put my initials on this exhibit B, which is the down payment in 3. There you go. Richard, your name's on there to sign, so.
Oh, I'm
You're
gonna
on.
bill.
That's fine.
I'm sorry.
Okay, and then while we've done that, is there anything else that you had on your list? You- Okay,
Are you going, Nikki? Okay,
if we go and we're together in the same room, if we keep separate quarters, we should be fine. What if somebody in the crowd asks us a question? Never know. I'm just scenario.
yeah, they'll definitely, I mean, it's no different from
As long as we're not conferring together and they're not asking us and we're both answering, because when I go to, have gone to meetings there before, people come up and ask questions about.
Well, then can we ask questions at the meeting? We can. Okay.
Can
Okay.
I ask questions?
We can.
We can.
And never.
Okay. Okay, well, I think we've got everything taken care of. Yes. Do you want to ask that question? I mean, it's personnel. If you want
I just can't wait till next week.
to, you want to wait?
And then it's not gonna. Back it for 2 weeks.
Okay, if you can wait on it, we'll wait.
Okay.
If you want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. Let's go into executive session for 3 minutes with the 3 commissioners and the county clerk present to discuss non-elected personnel and duties and compensation.
Okay. Their motion?
I make a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. 3 minutes, 4:17, 4:08. Okay, we're out of executive session, back into regular with no binding action taken. Okay, is there anything else to come before the commission before we? Whoops. Needed more than that. It's the meeting cost of the. City Hall.
I honestly didn't look at the location.
All right, we'll figure that out. All right, well, if there's no other business come before the commission, is there any? Richard? Everybody's good. I guess I would make a motion then to forego the work session and to adjourn. Okay with foregoing the work session? Okay, that's my motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. We're adjourned. Thank you.